Half as many. It's very organised. That's why it's just nicer to have a little game. Then Elmo not get excited or me.
Start talking as soon as the screen starts showing. That's what your audio starts getting.
Oh, right. That's a good
Allez, on va applaudir de nouveau la Nouvelle-Zélande et l'Italie pour cette petite finale. C'est un podium qui va se jouer dans quelques instants. On va saluer ces équipes et dans une minute, on aura le showcase.
When this goes live, we go live. I don't know if it's live. If it shows the screen, then we go live. George just said to us. Yo. Yeah?
Right, I'll do the intro. Hello and welcome to this Canoe Polo World Championship bronze medal game, or half final as they call it, between Italy and New Zealand in the women's competition. And both of these teams having been fantastic in the tournament so far, but falling at the semi-final hurdle. Germany losing to a highly favoured, New Zealand losing to a highly favoured German side, whilst Italy losing a magnificent game after two halves of golden goal against the hosts France, and France 1-0 down there in normal time with just a few seconds remaining, 22 seconds or so on the clock, when Claire Moll, the French captain, scored to take them into the golden goal. So we're just getting ready to line up now and introducing your commentators for this game. It will be myself, David, and also Jorn. Welcome, Jorn.
Hello, yes, thank you for welcoming me. And I'm really excited to see what happens next. I have some information for you during the match,
that will show to you how closely matched these both two of the teams are. But meanwhile, the refs already said, please line up, but because we want to start. The refs are Waisho Evan from Singapore and Sean from Ireland. Those will be the refs on the pitch. You can see them walking past the pitch in their white shirts. And if they make a movement, we will explain it to you.
So the two teams here being introduced to the pitch for the final. And starting with New Zealand, we have Clara Richter, number 3, Emma Sutherland. Number 4, Georgia Wheeler. Number 5 and vice captain Julie Bolton, one of the two.
Number 7, Sophie Winter.
One of the two Boltons, Erin Moore, the other now, one of 3 sisters. That was number 7, Sophie Winton. Number 8, Emma Taylor. Number 9, Erin Moore, the captain. Sister to Julie. And last but not least, Casey Hallers. 10. There are 2 coaches, Freya Hogarth and Grain Kelly. And now we move to Italy.
From Italy in the blue boats and the white helmets. Number 1, Ada Persistino. Number 3, Martina Anastasia. Number 4 and goalie from the 4 Italians, Mandalera Lago. Number 6, the captain, Roberta Catania. Number 7, Chiara Trevisan. Number 8, Silvia Cogoni. Number 9, Giulia Bonavenga. And number 10, Favia Landonia, who is the cousin of the captain Catania. So a lot of family on this pitch. You actually see that quite commonly in the canoe polo sport, because it's still quite a small sport. You see a lot of family members playing the same sport and actually being in each other's teams. We're just about waiting for the games to start.
So they will get ready to line up now. I can just tell you a little bit of what the target was for these teams. Italy were targeting first position in this tournament. So they find themselves now fighting off for 3rd, and by comparison, New Zealand, of course, also targeting that top spot, but a podium in general. So New Zealand with the opportunity to fulfill what they set out for in the competition here. 5 of this Italian women's team play for Catania. So a strong core of players who play together on a very regular basis for Italy. We're getting ready for the sprint here. So it looks like it's going to be Georgia Wheeler versus Roberta Catania, the captain for Italy. Wheeler looks to have it just. She gets there first, gets her hands on the ball, and Georgia Wheeler wins the first possession of the game for New Zealand.
The New Zealanders try to secure some positions in the defense of the Italians. And these actually have met already in this tournament, but I will tell you about that later.
So Erin Moore then. Moore over the top from the captain to Wheeler. Wheeler round the back to Bolton. Bolton with the pump pass back to Wheeler. Wheeler shaping to shoot, shaping to shoot. Shot blocked by Italy.
Fast break now for Italy.
And Roberta Catania on the ball here. She has options on the far left, which she finds to Largo. Blocked down by Prestipino, but back over the top now to the captain, Catania. Catania with a shot. Goal for Italy!
So that was a lot quicker than the semi-final. The semi-final for Italy took 19.5 minutes for the first goal. But now with this distant shot from Catania, they take the lead.
And I have to say, Italy's long shooting has been fantastic in this tournament. It nearly won them the game against France. And they've scored many other goals from distance. So look to see for Italy to do that again throughout the game on the break. Another notable thing for this Italian team, their goalkeeper, Maddalena Largo, has been fantastic in this women's competition.
Oh,
She's kept them in so many games.
Yes. Yeah, for example, against the French, but I've seen some plays from them already, and I did commentary on that game. Well, how many times I've said, and Largo saves the day again for it. It's insane.
Yeah, she must be right up there as one of the best goalkeepers in this competition this year. So, Cogoni to Largo, over to Anastasi. Anastasi willing for more from her team. Nice there from Catania, back to Anastasi. Shot coming, saved. Falls back again for Italy though. And this time, Prestipino looks to reset the ball by bringing it back over the top. And it's now with Largo at the back, and Italy playing with 2 players on the inside and 3 round the back here, looking to make space for their runners at speed. Catania with space on the left, but a bit of a rogue shot there from Largo.
Still an Italian ball position, bit of lucky, but there is a block from the Kiwis, so they have a fast break opportunity now for the other side.
And that's Moore up to Richter. Richter.
Oh, lack of control.
Land. It does still stick with Bolton, but that breaking opportunity is gone. So Bolton now to Sutherland. Sutherland with the arm brace there.
They actually met already twice during this tournament. And the first time actually New Zealand won, and the second time just yesterday actually Italy won. So these matches have been played a long time already on this tournament.
And quite different scores there as well, 4-2 and 5-2. So this game really could go either way, but not tight either of those games.
No. Well, I haven't seen them. I haven't commented on that, but I actually think it might have been just really close, and then in the end some of them were won. But again, Largo saves the Italians from a really slow kind of shot from the Kiwis.
So that was Laura Richter with the shot there on that left-hand side. So you can see the shot clock on the graphic. It is underneath the scores on the right-hand side, currently at 54 seconds. Each team has a minute to shoot whilst they are in possession, and that's designed to make sure there's pressure on the team to score.
And always move forward.
Yeah. Oh, and a drop ball there, and that could be really costly, and it's Sutherland who's dropped it. And Italy are away here. Ball comes over the top, and they've got 3 behind. Forced to Catania though, and that was the wrong person that needed to come to Cogoni. Cogoni now back over though to Trevisan, but I think New Zealand will be able to cover this back off. They have set up their defence. So
yeah, I can understand Catania by saving that ball, but she should have relied on Cogoni this, because then she would have had a for sure shot at the goalie.
So Catania on the ball now again. She has the option for the pass to her left, which she makes. That ball fed in to Landolina, Landolina now passes it to Catania. Catania background to Trevisan. Trevisan over the pitch. It comes to Largo. Italy now then opting for having 4 players around the back rather than 3. This will give them more options when they start their run. The ball coming here to Trevisan. Trevisan resetting again though to Largo. Let's see if they set up with 4 again or leave 2 on the inside. And this time they
leave
do.
2. Yeah. I've seen this play many times already during this tournament. A lot of teams actually use this tactic, trying to get them to the shooters. Oh, nice pass to the middle.
Goal! A really nice play there to get the ball to Trevisan. That was really well worked by Italy. And they are 2 goals up in this competition. And Landolina, ecstatic for Trevisan there, pushing her back down the pitch with her paddles. Trevisan coming off on the subs line. Italy currently with only 3 on the pitch. They need to get some of these substitutes on. They're back to 5 though.
Yeah, we're back. We have seen a really strong Italian defense already. For example, in just today's semis, the French had so much trouble getting through them. And they really only shot and scored at the end, but it took them more than 90 minutes.
So Taylor down the middle, double block there, but a foul committed on the goalkeeper. Taylor there not metering her run enough to avoid putting extra pressure on the keeper. So in Canoe Polo, you cannot hit the goalkeeper out of their position. You can move any of the other defenders, but you cannot hit the goalkeeper, and she was adjudged there to have done so.
And the Italians are doing this really well. They could have gone for a fast break, but they decided, no, we're relying on our own offense. We're already 2 points ahead. Like the shaking now from number 3, Anastasi. It's a really smart move. You have still 30 seconds on the clock. Play that clock, take it to your advantage.
So shot coming here. Oh, off the bar from Landolina. That will reset the shot clock for them, and I think Italy will regain possession here, but Richter trying to put pressure out. She does get the block. Prestipino was isolated there, and Richter managed to get to her. And a clean block there, nicely done by Anastasi. Gets the ball back for Italy. So Italy managing to regain possession there, having lost it, and New Zealand not able to break away from their half of the pitch.
And again, Italy slowing down. It's really nice to do this. When you're in the lead, you have the time. Set up your own attack and get through that scoring position again. The other team will have to respond when they attack.
Yeah, so Italy, with a 2-goal lead as well, they can just calmly use their time in each shot clock period and try and set something up. If it goes out for a corner, ideal. They get to go again with a new minute, and they can take 20 to 30 or 40 seconds off it each time.
And that adds up. It will. Oh! Nice save by the goalie from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Taylor.
Taylor there with the block. And I think Italy took it out in the process of trying to gather it. So Taylor, over the top the ball comes. Who's this going to fall to? It's Wheeler coming onto it at speed. She passes off to Winton on this left-hand side. Winton moving at speed here. Wheeler still trying to make ground. But New Zealand will now set up their attack again. So at 2 goals down here, New Zealand really need a goal to get a foothold in this bronze medal game.
It's really impressive to see that the Italians actually set up their defenses like that. But we've seen them 2 times already today, that their substitutions are kind of slow. Maybe the Kiwis can actually use that to their advantage later in this match.
So New Zealand playing with Wheeler on the inside alongside Winton now. Oh, and nicely worked to Wheeler. Wheeler with the opportunity, shoots and easily blocked that time by Anastasi. The corner will come for Sutherland.
Yeah, that goalie from Italy.
Sutherland with the ball over the top. It comes to Bolton. Bolton, shaming to shoot, does shoot. That shot didn't look like it was on. They had players on the left-hand side there, New Zealand, who they could have worked it round to. So maybe a little bit of frustration creeping into New Zealand's decision-making. And so Italy have it again through Lago.
Yeah. That is what I wanted to see from Kokoni. There was just 1 minute left of the game, and she showed her hand from slow down. We got this minute. That's really sharp to be in a game like that.
So great game awareness. Congoni on the ball now. Foul committed. Illegal possession of the ball. She must have dribbled with the ball on her deck, I imagine. So that's not allowed. You have to dribble the ball onto the water. So down the pitch now. Come New Zealand through Winton. Across, long shot coming, but it's going to fall short. But it's saved anyway by Italy. Let's see who regains possession here. And it's taken out in the end by Sutherland.
Oh, that was some amazing play by Wheeler from the New Zealand. She actually stopped kind of the goalie from going to her goal, which was a really smart move.
Oh, the long shot coming down the pitch from Landolina, but well off that time. And she apologizes to Congoni, who was free on the left. So, half-time in this game. 2-0 to Italy over New Zealand. And Italy will be the far happier team, you feel, at half-time, both with the scoreboard and how this game has unfolded. New Zealand not really testing the goalkeeper yet in Lago. She's had 1 or 2 saves she's had to make, but I think there's more to come from this New Zealand side.
Yeah, and I really enjoy the awareness of both of these teams on the team players they are playing. Because the Wheeler, number 4 from New Zealand, when there is a goalie under the goal, the rest of the teammates, they are just normal players. But Lago, the goalie from Italia, was not under the goal. So it was a faraway possibility for New Zealand. That was really smartly done by blocking that goalie that was slower to get back. I hope to see that more in this match.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that any of these Italian ladies aren't potentially good goalkeepers, but I imagine none of them are anywhere as good as Lago is in net. So any opportunity when Lago is out of net is one that New Zealand need to capitalize on. But Jorn, I wanted to speak to you about one of the tactics we've seen so far in this game. Italy setting up with 4 players around the back and then committing one of those players on the second phase attack to switch to a 3-2. Why wouldn't they just start with 3-2? What advantage do you see from playing that initial speed of ball?
Yeah, the advantage is really that you have an extra person that you can pass to. It helps so much to ensure that the longer the pass is, the more susceptible it is to be a little bit off. So having an extra player in that first run-up is really important so that you can really use the speed and kind of the overcompensation from I got this, and that will scare a defender sometimes in coming to you, which leaves a bit of room for your teammates.
I also see it, thinking it through now, as a potential advantage that if you're going to commit one of those players, New Zealand don't know where it's going to come from.
Right.
Usually when you set up a 3-2 and two players go into the inside, the defence can tell which player is going to come in from far out, but much more disruptive to send in a random one out of the 4.
Yeah, sometimes you can also use it the other way around, that you actually start with 2 players and then you say, okay, the best one stays. That's also a tactic. Maybe we'll see that somewhere down this pitch as well.
Okay, so we're ready to go for the second half here, and it will be Casey Hales lining up for New Zealand, and she will be facing against Congoni for Italy. So New Zealand coming away with the ball at the start of the first half, and they will want possession again here.
I've seen some games from Italy, and every time Catania, the captain, did the sprint. And I'm happy to see someone else is just as fast as her.
So Congoni here versus Hales. Hales looks to have the edge. She will get there just first. Oh, but she can't take possession of the ball and commits a foul at the same time, riding up into the stomach.
Nicely won by Congoni then.
Yeah, and Congoni there.
Yeah, so Italy is, well, we said it already, up 2 points. So they will probably use this time.
The foul there as Hales didn't avoid contact on the sprint, yeah. Oh, nice passing from Italy though. And we said they used their time, but they made a good opportunity there.
Yeah, true, but well, as you can see, we have a fast break from the Kiwis now. So probably
shooting opportunity, here comes the long shot. Oh, forces the save from Lago, who was having to look over her shoulder, but it was off target anyway.
Yeah, that's a good thing for the Kiwis here. They really have to tie this game up again to get to that bronze medal and get their target for their first podium. Yeah, it was a bummer that was not more on target because Lago was not back in time.
So nicely worked in by New Zealand. Ooh, a
trick shot.
Yeah, a scoop shot from New Zealand to try and get the ball around the paddle. But Italy are away here themselves, and it comes across from Trevisan over to the captain Catania. Nicely put over the top to Congoni. Congoni with a shot, saved, and that was on target. An important save from Taylor, making it back into the net.
Oh, that's almost said that she actually didn't see Trevisan. Well, she was getting free. She could have gone one-on-one on the goalie, but sometimes you really have to make a split-second decision.
So Trevisan from the corner. Across this comes nicely to the captain. So back to Largo now. Catania, the captain, over on the left-hand side for Italy, and they do set up this 4-person attack, but they're quite close to the New Zealand zone at the moment, so not creating much of a run-up. They try to create more space now. Largo back to Landolina, over to Trevisan. Trevisan has Catania on the left, can't find her, so resets the ball.
Yeah, I would have figured they would actually use more distance, because you need some distance to pick up some speed. And with the speed, you can just push through a defense.
Yeah, and they've got a little bit more distance here, so Largo over to Trevisan. Trevisan with the shot, no option for her. That's well blocked, and trying to get back to this ball is Bolton to gain possession. Nicely gained though by Landolina, and Landolina plays it over, trying to get it to Kogoni, but that's nice. A nice win there by Richter to regain possession. Kogoni giving away the paddle foul in desperation, trying to hold on to the ball. So New Zealand will have possession here.
I would have figured that actually Landonia would have used her boat more with that possession on this side of the pitch. I think it could have been just a bit easier for her if she could have taken the role on the other side of the ball.
Yeah, and Landolina now will take the ball. Let's just put the ball back to the corner, sorry, for New Zealand. New Zealand taking the corner through Taylor. And with 6.5 minutes left in this game and no goal registered yet for New Zealand, no better time than now for them to start making more of a game of this. So, comes back out from Richter to Taylor, and New Zealand just not quite making pockets of space in that Italian defence yet, but they know the quality of this goalkeeper that they're up against.
Yeah, you really need to get up in front of her, or you have to do some kind of trick shot just to surprise her, because those kinds of shots, they're blocked by the defence anyway.
Taylor with a big shot there, and a big celebration from Kogoni with the block as well. You're not coming in here, she says. Taylor now down the middle, shaping to shoot again. Offloads it to Richter. Richter, oh, with a lob shot. Almost paid off for her. It looked for a second there that Italy were going to struggle to defend that, but it was easy.
Again Lago saves them.
Yeah. Nice pass from Anastasi. So Italy now just take the sting off the ball, again, using the time period that they have available to them.
With 5.5 minutes left, the New Zealanders really need to score their goal from their own, because at some point the time is going to be an advantage for the Italians. Now it's still a bit close. If the Kiwis score a goal, then we have a match again.
So Catania to Largo, making their run here. Oh, Largo's left the ball behind her. She needs to be careful not to obstruct here. 2 players on her very quickly. Largo almost being put under the water there, and an advantage for Italy. But I think they're about to lose possession here.
Oh, that was a bummer for the Italians, but now we have a fast break for the Kiwis.
The referee determining that there had been some advantage there for Italy. So the ball coming up for New Zealand. It comes to the captain, Moore. Moore looks down the pitch to Wheeler.
And it's really a mental game now for the
long left in the game. That's potentially only 4 periods of possession for Italy. That's a nice shot though. Well saved again, this time from Wheeler. Oh, and we got a broken paddle there.
Oh wow!
And
that was a hard shot then from the Kiwis.
Paddle broken there from that fierce shot from Wheeler. Italy do manage to get the player and their paddles off the pitch, so
that's a lucky one for the Italians. I really thought the paddle was on the line when she already got in the pitch, the next player, because if you have to remove all the equipment that you have. Far away nice shot again by Largo.
So kind of unfortunate for the Kiwis that it isn't Largo who's broken her paddles, but Largo there with the save again, but it's gone out for a corner. So has to be soon for New Zealand now to get back into the game, and 1 goal could change the complexion of the game dramatically, put the pressure back onto the Italians with a couple of minutes left. Big shot coming from Taylor, but no dice for her with that shot.
But again, the Italian defense is so strong this match, really pressuring the Kiwis when they come and enter, and then blocking every second line shot. they really have to get close to Lago, and then they have to surpass Lago.
So nice round the back, but it can't be taken by Sutherland, and now it's a sprint race. Wheeler against the other two Italians to try and get to the ball. She's done really well there, Wheeler, to get to it. Oh, and there was an obstruction against Italy though, and it will be their ball. And the call comes from New Zealand to press. So
yeah. Man-on-man defense, the 5 out. We have it. A lot of pressure for the Kiwis, but yeah.
They need to get onto their players here though. Too much space currently between Wheeler and the Italian player, and currently Bolton now, the captain, Moore, to put more pressure onto the Italians. And they currently have a player lost, so Italy smartly substituting a player on one side of the pitch there to make space for another. And now Catania onto the field. The ball comes up to this anchor player. That was well controlled there, fantastically well controlled by Landolina. And away here is Catania. Catania for the game, off the bar. And what an opportunity that was, for Cogoni. That was the game there, and Cogoni knows it. A big bang on a boat in frustration.
Yeah, and if I see the top scorers from both teams, they actually have an all-rounded up team.
It's the replay again and off the bar. So Winton now. Winton across to Sutherland. 1 minute 45 left. That's plenty of time to score 2 goals, but they need to really from this possession. And is that a foul, or did Sutherland just drop the ball? Unfortunately, she drops the ball. So Italy have possession from the back line, and New Zealand still playing with this press. They have a man left at the moment, though. And Catania looking dangerous here. She's free at the moment from...
Again, they use the same tactic, changing the substitution on one side of the pitch, going to the other. It really messes up the man-on-man defense.
So Sutherland then managing to track well across to Buonavega. Nice passing here down the field. Cogoni, the anchor player. Catania looking for her up the pitch, can't get it there, so lays it off to Lago. Lago rides the push well, regains control of the ball before Taylor gets to it. Ball comes over the top. It's dropped a bit short though. Oh, and that will be New Zealand's ball. Can she regather though? Oh!
Nicely saved by Catania. And now we have an option for a goal for Italy.
Prestipino on the ball. They don't need this though, Italy. They're 2 goals up. Prestipino decides against it as a result. And Catania now, I expect she'll take this ball down the pitch if she can. She offloads to Lago. Lago, that'll come back to Catania, who's teed herself up nicely behind. She's opened up space between herself and Wheeler. And New Zealand need to change players now and put new possession on. Good possession coming from Sutherland now. Sutherland on Buonavenga. Buonavenga with a hand on the deck though, so it will fall for Sutherland.
Yeah, but it's over. You can see it. As I said, the time is in the advantage of the Italians. They scored a quick 2 goals. And the Kiwis can't just score in 2 seconds 2 goals.
One shot has to come. Shot does come. Oh, off the bar. And it doesn't matter anyway. It is Italy. Italy take the victory. 2-0 in this bronze medal game. Big celebrations from the Italian players after narrowly missing out in that semi-final earlier today. And again, Lago important. A blank sheet for this Italian side in this bronze medal game. New Zealand just not able to pierce that tight Italian defence. And congratulations to Italy, your women's bronze medalists in this World Championships 2022. What a great game, Jorn.
Yeah, it was amazing. And yeah, you know the Kiwis have to switch to a 5-out defense. You know it's coming. And at that point, they actually made a small mistake. They got away with it. But still, it was an exciting match. And it was way closer than the previous games. Really well done by the Italians.
I've seen this Italian team growing over the last couple of years. The biggest difference in this game, from my perspective, was the fact that they were just so well drilled when they knew different things that occurred. And that's, sorry. Landolina doing a trademark standing up in her boat. Incredibly impressive to be able to stand up in the boat, but her teammate trying to tip her in from a distance there. Sorry, I was just saying, one of the most impressive things about that Italy performance was how well drilled they were, particularly on the 5-out. The ability to think about bringing a player off and on, setting up a player between 2 players so that it made it difficult for New Zealand to get to them. They played that really well.
Yeah, and also using the same tactic twice. Don't be afraid of that.
It worked
was
the first
amazing.
time.
Yeah, And sometimes you just kind of, oh, I did it once, I forget it. Sometimes it happens during a match, but so quickly done. Again, going out the left side of the pitch and coming back on the right.
And a shout out to New Zealand, the 4th place finishers then.
We hope
they will reflect on this tournament and I'm sure be pleased with the result.
So
they did have a few players that changed between the World Games team and this team. And they've done incredibly well at this World Championships to make the bronze medal game in the first place. But they will finish in what some consider to be the hardest place.
So we played very well and we obtained what we wanted.
Win your last match.
All the Italian fans watching at home,
the interview here,
would you like to say something to them in Italian? If you like.
Ma no, poi in realtà grazie a tutti, ok per il supporto, so che non è quello che mi ha chiesto, però io poi vi ringrazio già.
Congratulations Roberta, well done.
Thank you very much.
Elle est ici avec nous au niveau de la tente blanche, en haut du gradin principal.
Yeah, you can actually still and keep watching on this pitch because we have a lot of finals left. So next up is the bronze for the men's, and after the finals we will have the ceremony here as well.
So a great set of highlights here, and you can see the stopping power of Italy, and that's the broken paddle moment there. And Prestipino holding both parts of her paddle up in the air to try and block the next shot.
Like that's gonna work?
Yeah, I know, but just the concern on her face and just looking very uncomfortable. Yeah, and I think it's quite obviously when a piece of equipment breaks like that, you do have to substitute off and change it over because the broken half of those paddles would be quite sharp. But yeah, Italy with that fantastic long shot to get them ahead in the game, making the difference, and deserved winners of the bronze medal. So signing off from myself and Jorn, leaving you with these pictures of Italy celebrating their bronze medal, and we move on to the next bronze medal game. Thank you, Jorn.
Thank you, David. And thanks for watching.
Et on voit l'arrivée des joueurs italiens sur le terrain numéro 1. Ils seront en gilet bleu, plateau bleu. Le capitaine Luca Bellini arrive de premier sur le terrain. Voilà les Italiens, on peut les applaudir, ils arrivent sur le terrain, s'il vous plaît, applaudissements pour l'Italie.
And welcome to the now bronze medal match for the senior men's here at the ICF Canoe-Polo World Championships in Saint-Omer, northern France. And you can see in front of you the players for Great Britain. And now the players for Italy. They're just getting on the water now. A rocky road for some of these teams to get here. It's worth mentioning for those of you who watched the semi-finals, Italy did receive a red card. I think it was number 7, Emanuele, and that is just a normal red, so he will be on the squad and on the team and on the water for this game. His team did appeal the result of the semi-final, but that appeal got overturned by the jury here. So, setting the scene for this game, Great Britain and Italy. They've already played each other because they were in the same middle group earlier in the week, and that was a 1-1 draw 2 days ago. And of course, that will not pass here, so we will get a result no matter how long it takes.
Yeah, if after 2 halves we don't get a a win for one of the teams. If it's a tie, if the score is equalized, then we're going to get to a golden goal situation. So those are 5-minute halves, and the first one to score wins the bronze medal. That's the situation if this match ends up in a tie.
Speaking of medals, Italy here were in both of the last two finals of both the last two World Championships. In Welland, Canada, they faced Germany and came second. And in Syracuse, Italy in 2016, they came first, beating France, getting the gold medal. Great Britain, on the other hand, haven't stood on the podium since 2004 in Myoshi, Japan. So this will be a significant change in fortunes here for Great Britain if they were to win this match.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think both of these teams have lots and loads of experience playing on these tournaments. Even quite some of the GB men have been on the under 21 GB squads, winning a couple of medals there in the past. So both teams know how to play finals and how to win. So should be an interesting matchup today between Team GB and Italy.
Yeah, here in this custom-built venue in Saint Omer, and the setup here only possible because of a few companies who've helped us out. Brasserie La Goudale, a local brewery, Yvage and Upin Sports. Some of you may also know them as CPS, or Wisely, the manufacturer of balls, boats and other equipment. All the competition balls that we're using here are Wisely bowls, including the training ones the teams are provided with. And there's also a set of boat and equipment that are used by teams that can't bring it with them, who've travelled a long way, and those boats and equipment afterwards will be provided to nations developing canoe polo in regions of the world that don't currently have a strong pedigree of it already. So I think the potential recipients could be Egypt in Africa or Argentina in South America.
Yeah, quite nice that they sponsor those boats to those developing canoe polo countries. In the meantime, you see an overview of the field. Both teams are warming up. On the left in white, it's Team GB, and on the right, completely in blue, it's Team Italy.
So I think shortly the local commentator might announce the teams, but in the meantime we'll introduce them to you. Number 1 for Great Britain, Kartik McCutcheon. Number 2, Syrian McCutcheon. Number 3, James Mallon. Number 4, Alex Lothorpe. Number 5, Ross Martin. Number 6, Ross Montgomery. Number 7, the captain, Shivan McCutcheon. Number 8, Fergal McCombie. And their coaches, Dave Edwards and Alan Bessie.
And for the Italians, it's number 1, Andrea Bertoloni. Number 2, Eduardo Corvaia. And number 3, Davide Novara. Number 4, Paolo Giferero. Number 5, Jan-Erik Haak. Number 6, Andrea Romano. Number 7, Gianmarco Emanuele. And number 8, Fabrizio Massa. And number 9, Luca Bellini with their and number 10, Andrea Silvio Constagliola and their coach Rodolfo Vastola.
And you'll see the players now coming out in front of you as they're drawn out and announced by the local commentator. The crowd here giving them all a round of applause as they line up in front of you. The route these teams took to get here, as I said, these two teams have already played each other just 2 days ago. It'll be interesting to see what happens. The score there are only a 1-1 draw. Hopefully we'll see many more goals today.
Yes. And there on the screen, the whole of Team GB is displayed. Oh, and you can see on the right side now, Team Italy is coming onto the pitch, joining in the middle with Team GB. It's a nice show of sportsmanship, giving each other handshakes before the beginning of the match.
Yeah, referees looking on. Referee, I think, for this game, Ivan Canalejas from Spain, and second referee, Ezio Ambrosetti from the USA. We also have, of course, a table and line judges provided by the host organising committee here in France. There are a mixture of volunteers from all across France, one of whom I know travelled all the way from the south on a 6-hour train just to come and do shot clock. A level of dedication from some of the volunteers as well. Many of them been here for weeks beforehand, setting up the pitch and the facilities, including the grandstand you can see in front of you with all the players, with all the supporters on it.
Yeah, and now both teams have been presented, and now both teams are ready for the start of this game.
For those of you who become accustomed to it, supporters have their range of musical instruments and noises they make. The trumpet for Team GB has already started. Hopefully the mic is picking that up. So, lining up, the crowd goes quiet. Just waiting for number 9 to get out of the way.
And in the background, you can hear God Save the Queen, played by the trumpet, encouraging Team GB. By the looks of it, I think number 2, Suryan McCutcheon, is going for the sprint for Team GB, and it's going to be number 7, Gianmarco Emanuela, going for it. And off we go with Team GB, first at the ball, but then committing a foul, so ball for Italy. Good sprint by Gianmarco Emanuele.
Just gotta love the charge start, the pure physicality there. You had McCutcheon there riding up and basically just sitting on Gianmarco there. So, Luca Bellini currently with the ball, as Italy here trying to work up their attack.
And now Bertoloni passing it to Emanuele. Emanuela with the fake throws and a bit of booing from the crowd. I don't think they didn't want him to take that shot. So now Luca Bellini drifting inside of the zone with a pass to number 5, Haag. Haag with the fake throws, but decides to pass it on to Emanuele. Bellini with the ball, slips out of event, catches it again, but good save by Shivan McCutcheon. And an exciting first minute of this half from the Italians, but good defending from Team GB.
Yeah, really good work there. You could see the zone slowly being forced to shift over as it had to drive each runner out. And then across the top you had McCutcheon as well, just ensuring that Bellini couldn't get the shot off. As he tries to go round the side, they then had to adjust it round, but it's working well for them so far.
Wow, good block by Kartik McCutcheon there. It looked like Gianmarco Emanuela had the free shot and a one-on-one opportunity on goal. But then out of nowhere, Kartik McCutcheon came back with his pedal, blocking that ball. Good job for Team GB. Now corner, Bertoloni with the long pass to Bellini.
Same thing we've seen in both of these attacks so far. The GB defence being drawn to one side and Italy placing that player on that other weak side and then getting the ball to them. It's reliably worked so far. Luca Bellini here, and it's a goal!
Oh, Luca Bellini drifting inside of the defence, and we all know this shot is coming. 9 times out of 10 he's going to shoot his shot, but still it's unexpectedly when...
Yeah, so Luca Bellini there, getting his shot past 3 of the defenders' paddles and the goalkeeper. really shows you what an amazing finisher he is for Italy. Playing the sport for many years now, keeps telling us he's going to retire and then keeps coming back and then scores finishes like that.
I think he said it once after World Games in 2017 that he was going to retire. Now 5 years later, scoring goals in the match for the bronze in the World Championships here, so
little risky there. GB having the ball contested there by Emanuele, but they managed to keep possession.
Shot by Syrian McCutcheon, but blocked by Italian defense. And now are they going to look for a fast break? It looks like they're taking it easy. Romano with the ball to Novara, and Novara to Bellini, setting up the Italians, setting up their attack with Haak and Novara into the zone, blocking. And now on the left side, Bellini is coming with the shot, and again off the post into the net. What a shot from Luca Bellini! Second goal already for Luca Bellini and the Italian team. What an attack from Italy!
Yeah, Luca Bellini just waiting on the near side, waiting for the defence to be committed fully, and then just runs in, and there's not a huge amount McCutcheon can do in that situation. Like, he's already tied up against the keeper.
And outside of the screen, Ross Martin was being substituted out for Ross Montgomery. So some fresh players inside of the pitch, immediately coming off with a shot, but blocked by Italian defender number 10, Andrea Silvio Costagliola.
Yeah, key thing about Montgomery here is he's a left-handed shot. He can take that shot in from quite near this left-hand side. The angle works really well for him. Really key finisher for GB. He's already scored, I think, at least one, if not two penalties for them, one-on-one so far this week.
Then you could see a shot from Syrian McCutcheon, but easily blocked by Italian defense. So Team GB has to come up with something else to try to get through the Italian defense. Now Syrian McCutcheon with the shot. No, a lot of fakes, but pass all the way over to his brother Shivan McCutcheon. And now Ross Montgomery with the pass, trying. He's the playmaker now, throwing the ball from left to right. Pass to number 8. Number 8 with the shot, but blocked. Number 8 for a goal. McConvey with the shot. And oh, what's happening there? Ref has called for a timeout. And number 3 of number 3 with the green card for number 3, Davide Novara gets a green, so it's a powerful play for 2 minutes. George, can you explain the power play system to the people at home?
Yeah, so that was a paddle foul that he committed. What this means is, of course, that it was probably dangerous, hence the immediate green, or maybe 2 deliberates in very quick succession. And he's off now for 2 minutes, or until GB score a goal, in which case Italy will be back immediately up to 5 players. Of course, they're able to take the shot from where the foul was committed, and you can see that quick pass back out. McCutcheon here, again, to his brother. Oh, that's a bit low, and you can see there him looking at his hand. Yeah, shaking his head. He is a bit disappointed by that. That should have been on target.
Yeah. Did he try to score, or did he try to take the head of the goalkeeper off? It was a bit in between there, but not a good opportunity, or not a good shot from Syrian there. Now Italy attacking with just 4 players. You can see immediately Team GB putting pressure on every man on the field, trying to force Italy into a mistake.
Yeah, key thing here with this is, of course, with a normal 5-man press, as soon as you lose possession, they potentially just got a long shot straight into an open goal, but with the numbers advantage, you can keep the amazing keeper that is Shivan McCutcheon and the captain of this team in goal, and still get the same pressure on this Italian squad. Goal here is just to run down the shot clock with 15 seconds left. Goal is they'll just be forced to take a long shot, and it's just not going to work out. Here it is, Bellini and they're straight off. GB therefore the pressure winning the possession.
And now it's Alex Loebthorpe on the left side of the pitch. I thought he was going for it, but he passed it back to Shane McCutcheon, to his brother Shivan McCutcheon, and oh, what a nice shot from Shivan McCutcheon, but blocked by goalkeeper Romano, number 6 for Italy. And now Italy back in possession. Let's see if they can extend their lead to 3 points in the remaining 3 minutes of this first half. Shot clock winding down, 40 seconds left, but that's plenty of time to get an attack in.
Yeah, so the only problem is, of course, that the green card is only for 2 minutes, and we're going to be using up a large amount of that time just trying to run this shot clock down.
Oh, Corvaya, he didn't expect that ball there, so immediate pressure from Loebthorpe. And now 5th player of Italy back in. So Gianmarco Enuela is not putting any pressure on this attack, although still 12 seconds left on shot clock. So they need to produce something, or they need to take their shot. Novato with the shot, but good goalkeeping by Shivan McCutcheon. And now reset of the shot clock. It's 5 against 5. And 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to be played in the first half of this match.
Yeah, just before this, you could see all of the GB players already starting to break out of the 4-man chase and starting to set up defence, because they knew they were going to be back up to 5 soon and they needed to be ready for that. So Italy now comfortable with their 2-0 lead. They don't need any more. Of course, this is knockout. We're just going to play to a result, and they're just going to use up as much of this time as possible. They see an opportunity, they'll take it, but otherwise they're happy to run out as much of the shot clock, 60 seconds, as possible. Already halfway through.
And Bartoloni on the left side, trying to find a way into the zone, make that pass. New 60 seconds awarded for the Italian team, so no rush for them. Ball to number 6, Romano. Romano taking it easy. There's no rush for the Italians. They're 2-0 up. And this first half is winding down until 1 minute, 20 seconds. They're still not in a rush. 30 seconds left on shot clock. And they're just running a bit of time down. There they go. Bertoloni on the left side. Passing it to number 2. Number 2 with the shot. Number 2, Eduardo Corvaya. Amazing shot, but even better goalkeeping from Shivan McCutcheon. Really keeping his team into the game because of all of those nice saves from Shivan McCutcheon.
Interesting to note that GB still opting for the 3-1 despite being 2 goals down. They're hoping that at some point they're going to win possession, or maybe just last out this half and then hope for better fortunes in the second half to come, as it runs down even further.
That's what I think they're going to do. They're going to wait out this first half, and then they're going to talk about it in a half-time break. And at second time, they will be coming out of the gates flying. But first, let's see how this half is going to end. 15 seconds left for Italy, and then Corvaya throwing the ball back. And now Romano with the pass to Corvaya. Corvaya with the pass to Bertoloni. Bertoloni with the shot, but blocked by UK defense. And now it's the end of the first half. Italy on 2, GB on 0. And let's see how they come back for the second half.
Yeah, so key point. Oh, look at that tackle. That was the charge start at the start, and we'll have another one of those shortly. Definitely one of the most exciting parts of the sport. So, key thing here, is there anything we're expecting to see different from the teams? Like, are you happy with Italy? Do they need to change anything? Can they just keep it as they are?
Yeah, they could keep it as it is, but I think they need to be anticipating 5-out pressure defense from Team GB. So they need to discuss it. How are they going to play it? Are they going to do it? That's, I think, their biggest worry at the moment. In offense, it seems to be really working well. Just give the ball to Bellini and he will put it into the back of the net. It seems to be working as of yet. And let's see if it still is going to work in the second half.
Yeah, so it's worth noting right now that in the best scorers list, before this game, Bellini was ranked 9th out of every single player in the tournament. There is not a single GB player in the top 20. So, for comparison there, Luca Bellini, the only person on this pitch to rank in that list and sitting at 9th. And that's also worth mentioning that he's playing against the top teams and the top goal scorers, which drastically reduces how many goals you can score. Further down the tournament, you've got scores of 17, 18-0, and Luca Bellini not in any of those games.
I've even seen a game this tournament, which was Germany against Ukraine, that ended up in 20-0. So if you throw 5 in there, you're already bumped up quite a bit in the list.
So yeah, so despite not having played any of those games, he's still ranking 7th. Quite an impressive achievement for anyone, not to mind someone who's been in the sport so long.
S'il vous plaît, le public de Saint-Omer, on va se chauffer pour le prochain match. On tape des mains et on applaudit l'équipe de Grande-Bretagne.
Teams just preparing themselves, they're lined up. You see the supporters as well, cheering and waving the flags. The trumpet going again with another rendition of God Save the Queen. Coach is just giving some last-minute advice, setting the tone for the teams. Looks like for this second half, sprinting for Great Britain, we will have Surian McCutcheon. And for Italy, looks like we will have
Gianmarco Emanuele. In the first half, it was Emanuele who took possession of the ball. And let's see, it's Emanuele against McCutcheon, and Emanuele is at the ball way earlier, so Italy with possession of the ball.
Yeah, solid grab there. Had his hands on it well before McCutcheon's boat came close. Play on in favour of Italy. I think that was just tackling outside the 6 metre zone. Reset the shot clock, but not much of it had passed already. So Italy starting the second half with possession.
Look at that battle on the right side. It's McCutcheon against Emanuele, and a shot from Luca Bellini, but blocked by number 2, Surian McCutcheon. And there was a call for obstruction there by Team GB, but no awarding of a foul. So now it's number 6, the goalkeeper Romano, with the ball, passing it all the way to Constagliola. And is he going to shoot? Left-hander? No, back to Emanuele. And Emanuele puts it in the top left-hand side corner of the goal. Amazing goal for Gianmarco Emanuele. And now Surian McCutcheon with the fast break out of the goal, out of the middle out throw. And now it was a foul has been called in favor of Team GB. And again, that left-hander Montgomery with the shot, but blocked, and Italy back in possession.
Really clever foul there by Italy. Occasionally you just have to do them, and they needed to stop that break and stop that opportunity. Any defender in any sport will tell you, if needs be, sometimes a foul is just a resource you need to use to stop the goals. So here.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it's necessary, but you have to watch out in this sport, because the first green card, you get a 2-minute time penalty, and those can be really against you. So now, again, a battle on the right side of the pitch. Kartik McCutcheon against Davide Novara. But the game has shifted to the left side, and it looks like the Italians are building up to a new attack.
Yeah, looked dangerous there for a second. Emanuele Romano looking threatening, but luckily Kartik McCutcheon getting back into position quickly. Play on in favour of Italy. Another shot clock reset. Just waiting to see where this gap will form, where Italy will go for the run. Of course, they're in no rush. They're 3 goals ahead. They can happily wait. Oh, we've got to run out.
Alex Lowthorpe going for that ball. Oh, what's going on? Oh, foul against Alex Lowthorpe, not getting, letting Gianmarco Emanuele getting back up. That's not allowed, because otherwise you can't breathe if you're upside down for too long. So yeah, foul against Alex Lothorpe.
Yeah, really good call there by the referee. It was quite subtle, but a little nudge just as he came up with his hand on the paddle. Good catch by the referee there.
Oh, now I need to watch the left side. Oh no, pass over the zone all the way back to Andrea Romano.
So now we've got both Navarra and Hack sitting in that zone. Oh, shot there, saved by McCutcheon. Pass straight back out, potential for a GB break here.
It's going to be a long ball, it's going to be a long ball. Alex Lothorpe into the goal. What an amazing goal by Team GB. Alex Lothorpe with the long shot. It was more than half a field he threw. It looked easy, it definitely isn't. We have seen a lot of those shots missed, but he does it on the moment when it counts. Amazing throw by Alex Lothorpe.
The calm and control there towards the end. He was like lining that shot up. He took the moment, he knew he had the time, and just planted it in the back of the net there. So Great Britain clawing their way back into this game. Now 3-1 to Italy.
And again, they have to watch that right side. Oh, but he passed it back out to Bellini. Bellini to Romano, back to Bellini. And Bellini is going in. Bellini with the pass to Novara. Novara with the pass to Bartoloni. But, oh, leaning cold against Italy. So now Team GB with the ball. It's going to be fast break. Another long shot. Ball to Syrian McCutcheon. All the way to his brother Shivan McCutcheon. He's in front of the goal. Oh, he shot it off of the post. Now Syrian McCutcheon has the ball. But what an incredible fast break was that from Team GB.
The sheer pace these players can get, especially after already 15 minutes of fighting each other constantly in each zone. It's pretty impressive, the fitness of both teams, not to mind their power.
Yeah, I think the Brits need a goal in a bit between now and 2 minutes to get into the game. Otherwise, Italy is going to walk away. Oh, what's happening now? What's happening now? Yellow card for number 1 or 2. How many fingers is the ref holding up? It's number 2. It's Eduardo Corvaya. Oh, excuse me, it's number 3. Who is it? It's number 2. Eduardo Corvaya with the yellow card because he was it was an illegal boat tackle.
It's interesting, actually. I think there are a number of fouls happening in very quick succession. I did also notice earlier in the game, one of the McCutcheons, I think it was Kartik, complaining of a little bit of pulling on the BA, and I think there it was a bit too obvious right in front of the referee and got called up.
And BA being buoyancy aid, I think.
Or PFD.
And now Syrian with the shot. Oh, it looked like a pedal foul. A lot of pedals there. And now it's Italy with possession. Play on for Italy.
Shouts here from the GB coaches really telling their team to go out and hit this ball. Of course, they're a player down. They need to be hitting out. You've already got Shivan McCutcheon in goal. So the 4 of them can go and push out. Try and win this ball back. Try and make this power play. Get them 1 goal closer to a victory in this game.
Long pass to Bellini from Romano. And now 25 seconds left on shot clock. So there's going to be some extra pressure from GB.
Yeah, you can see there Bellini calling out, looking for the pass. It's just worth noting at this level of play, trying to get the ball off someone, really hard work. Your best bet is basically driving them off the pitch, and this is exactly what McConvey is currently doing to Bertoloni.
6 seconds left on shot clock. Is there going to be a shot from Bellini? Bellini shoots it, and he misses by a couple of inches. But ball for GB, and they're still on the pitch with only 4 players. So now there's probably going to be a big opportunity for Team GB. It's 5 against 4.
There really isn't long left on the green card, though. They're going to have to capitalise it. There was already... And yeah, just a corner. They're really going to have to make some quick work of this. We've got less than a minute now on the green card. Italy will be shortly back up to 5 players. Montgomery starting on the corner. You can see the urgency here. left-handed shot from that far side. He's trying to get his teammates to come in. In comes one of the McCutcheon brothers, passing it through. McConvey now, underneath the goal, trying to find a gap. Will he find it? Again, Martin now. Martin trying to do the same, and it's blocked. Italy now with the ball, and I think they're now back up to 5. Yes, they are. And the calls here now, I think GB are committing to a full 5-man press now. Noticing that with just under 3 minutes left of the game and 2 goals to get, it's going to be some serious effort now to win this ball. Unfortunately, Emanuele is unmarked. Luckily, he doesn't go for a long shot in that time.
And now Novaro in possession for the Italians. Novaro giving it to Emanuele, back to...
Really smooth work here by the Italians, using each other to
that was
try
allowed.
and get around.
Shiven with the steal of ball possession. Now ball away, all the way to Martin, and Martin to McConvey. McConvey with the long shot. Oh, but he just misses. Oh, that was a chance to really get back into this game. Virgo McConvey with a near miss from Team GB.
That's really unfortunate. He's really not happy. He substituted himself off to bring on Alex Lothorpe. But yeah, I can see him in the subs area. He's a bit disappointed with himself there. Unfortunate. So, Italy still having to weather the 5-man press here from Team GB. And Bellini is free. Bellini's got a shot on goal. Lothorpe's moving back to try and block. It's off the top bar. Another shot. Another block there. Solid work there from Lothorpe. And now potentially GB with the opportunity. Italy trying to get back in defence as soon as possible. Ball over the top to Montgomery. Montgomery, the left-hander. Oh, back to McCutcheon. McCutcheon now, he's close. He's right. Oh, he tries to sneak it through there to Martin, but it's blocked by the paddles of Corvea. And Italy managed to recoup the ball with a play on as well. And I think no advantage. We might be having, yes, we're reaching for a card.
And number 5.
Yeah, Ross Martin here with the green card now.
Yeah, Ross Martin with the card. He deserved that card. It was a bit of foul play there, working with his pedal. So now GB down to 4 players. When there's only a couple of minutes left in this match. And another interesting thing I noticed, that Team GB was only able to create chances on long balls, and they haven't really got a good chance off from the regular attack. So really great defending by the Italians here. And now Bertoloni in front of the goal, passing it to Constagliola, but defended by number 6, Montgomery. Montgomery chasing Constagliola.
So it's worth noting here, GB going a little unconventional, but they're forced to by the fact they're down a player. They're trying to mark out all 5 players with only 4 of themselves. This is really risky, but with 2 goals down, they're going to have to try it because otherwise they're losing anyway. Less than 30 seconds left on the clock, but the shot clock is slightly longer. It's going to force the shot soon. Oh,
10
nice
seconds,
block
10
there.
seconds. Oh, shot clock, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and the ball was blocked by Alex Lothorpe, the shot and goal. But I think this game is done because they're going to take a while to take this corner. They're going to stretch time a bit, waiting for time to run out. And that buzzer sound marks the end of this match. Italy winning bronze. Bellini cheering with his helmet in his hand. Italians third on the World Championships, and Team GB is taking the 4th place. But what a great display of canoe polo today on this pitch 1, with all the finals that we've had, and now a really exciting 3rd place match.
Yeah, it's worth noting in this tournament there were at least 6, if not more, really strong senior men's teams all contesting the podium and even, if not, 1st place. So both of these teams have worked really, really hard to achieve even just this bronze medal playoff. And both teams, GB can be proud of their first semi-final since 2004, and even if they haven't necessarily reached the podium. Italy, on the other hand, have secured themselves a 3rd podium in a row at a World Championship. And you can see how happy they are about that too.
Yeah. What an amazing powerhouse Italy is in canoe polo. And shortly we'll come to an interview between Bellini, the captain, and the TP, and we will pass the mic over for the women's finals between France and Germany. Thank you and goodbye from Benjamin and George.
We are happy for this medal, and I think it is a really good tournament, more fun and enjoy.
Have you enjoyed it? Because this is your last tournament, yes?
Yes, I hope. I don't know, but I hope, and really enjoy. Have another match now in the Champions League, but good tournament. I enjoy.
And your team played well during the event. You were happy with your team?
Yes, play really well. But the semi-final with Spain is a lot, but really strong team, really super people, and I really enjoyed it.
And Luca, do you want to say something to the Italian fans watching in Italian?
Yes. Ciao, medaglia di bronzo. Abbiamo vinto.
Et dans quelques instants, on aura nos filles pour un titre champion du monde. Je ne peux pas souvenir qu'elles aient déjà été championnes.
Hi, my name's Curly Barker. I'll be teaming up with Elmo to bring you the next game, which is of course the women's final gold medal match between Germany and France. Just having a look at the French women's team there. Already in a little huddle. They should have plenty of time to prepare fully. And they're a massive, fantastic aerial shot of the venue. That you can see to the top right of the screen, the original two pitches here in Saint Omer adjacent to the canal. That the French crowd, I think we can assume that they're fairly partisan. They will have a fair bit to say for their team.
Absolutely, I think these referees have really got their work cut out for them. They can call everything right, but if it goes against France, I think the whole venue's going to know about it.
Yep, I think we'll have to be pulling this mic a bit closer to beat the over pitch speaker as well. He's got a massive amplifier that we're competing with.
We're going to give it our absolute best shot though, aren't we, Curly?
Nice and loud, that's the way forwards. So who have we got for this game?
So we have got Germany and France. So now Germany were in both finals yesterday. They did actually have to settle for silver in both finals, which is very surprising actually. So they pulled double or nothing, and they are gunning for gold in both the senior women's and men's competitions. Worth noting, Germany, they are undefeated in this tournament, so they are looking for a Grand Slam victory. Interestingly, France actually have met Germany. They actually met them earlier today. They lost 1-0 in the group game, but they've actually won everything else apart from a 3-3 draw against the Dutch in the first group. But I have to say, this French team has been looking phenomenally strong so far.
They've been getting better through the week, and in some ways that's the secret of success here. I mean, I think you'd have to make the Germans favourite here, but then the Germans have been favourites in the under-21s as well. And it doesn't guarantee you anything in a final. Does the crowd come into play? There's a lot of debate goes on whether the crowd helps or hinders the home team because they have all sorts of pressure piled on them. But the bottom line is the French team have beaten the Germans before. The French teams did start as certainly one of the two favourite teams, and now we've got two of the favourites right in front of us. We couldn't really ask for more.
Absolutely. I mean, what do you think is going to happen if France do it? Do you think the venue's going to be still left standing at the end of it?
Well, I think we're going to be needing a set of ear defenders each if that happens, because this crowd's getting noisy now. In terms of ear damage, we're probably hoping that the Germans score first and that'll quieten the French crowd down, but I've really got to say the French crowd have been phenomenal here for everybody all week, and I think they were a bit unlucky yesterday, and obviously with no male interest, this is the team they're going to get behind. This is their last chance of a medal. This is their last chance of a gold medal, so they're not going to lie quietly.
No, absolutely not, and they're already on their feet, bouncing away not quietly, anything but quietly, bouncing away in the purpose-built stands in this incredible venue here in Saint Omer.
First referee for this game, Brian Anderson for Great Britain. Obviously an honour for him to be refereeing a World Championship final. Haven't seen who the second referee is yet. I've seen it's Maurizio Pelli. I thought I'd seen him on the side, but I wasn't sure if he was just congratulating the previous Italian team that won the bronze medal match. But no, he's on his way around to referee, you're right.
brought into this senior women's final with the dulcet tones of Freddie Mercury.
Yes, I remember when Freddie Mercury was alive. I don't suppose you do, Elmo.
I have to say, I'm getting older. It's actually my birthday today, Curly. Did you know
Congratulations. I did, actually.
Thank you. I'm 29, so in dog years I'm dead.
Yeah. I'm a lot more than double that.
I was going to say, in dog years you're archaeologically significant.
Yeah.
But how many people can profess to have witnessed virtually the whole of the history of competitive canoe polo firsthand?
Well, it's true, actually. The national championships in Great Britain were held 6 years before I started playing. I was lucky enough to go to the first World Championships and haven't missed one since. And I'm not planning on missing one. I'm looking forward to China almost before we wrap here. So keep in touch. This is the 14th. I've got to at least have 15 in me, obviously, unless natural causes catch us up before then.
I sincerely hope that doesn't happen, Curly.
We've got the two, just in front of us, we've got the two team captains shaking hands, exchanging gifts. Referee wishing both teams a good game, and I'm sure if they weren't cheeky enough to say it, both captains will be wishing the referees a good game too.
Incredible work. So, what are we going to see from these teams? I actually think we're about to...
Again,
I think we're about to introduce them, so we might have to discuss that in a second. So the overpitch commentary is going to be announcing the players. We'll do it for you here as well. So that's number 1 from Germany, Jill Ritson.
Number 2, Katharina Kruse.
Number 2, Katharina Kruse.
Number 3, Jules Schwartz.
Number 3, Jule Schwartz.
Number 5, Svenja Schäfer.
Number 5, Svenja Schäfer.
Number 6, Nelle Schmallenbach.
19 years old, number 6, Nelle Schmallenbach.
Number 7, Leonie Wagner.
Number 7, the top goal scorer for Germany at this tournament, Leonie Wagner.
Number 8, Hilke Foster.
New for this year, number 8, Hilke Vogt. And their captain, number 10, Elena Gillis. I think it's about to get loud in here, Curly. Number 1, Eloise Frigo. Number 2, Melissa Ledonneur. Number 3, Marion Robert. Their captain, number 4, Claire Moal. Their goalkeeper, Celeste Louis, number 5. Their top goal scorer for this tournament, number 6, Aline Moulon. Number 7, Clotilde Lamal. Number 8, Camille Meyer. And just the overpitch commentary, just confirming our referees for this momentous women's final. Brian Anderson of Great Britain and Maurizio Pelli of Italy.
Allez, on va suivre les supporters de l'équipe de France. Tu es prêt au tambour?
Ooh, this is fun.
Yeah, this is the over-pitch commentary, geeing the crowd up as if they needed geeing up. But he's got them doing what originated as the Icelandic chant in the Euro football, being adopted by a few nations. very popular with overpitch commentators to get everybody going. We're lucky because as the games start, he'll be dialed down at least a little bit, and we might be able to make ourselves heard.
I was going to say my ears are not going to last.
It's
that long.
loud. If it's interfering with the live stream commentary, let me tell you, it is loud.
So, it's looking like we're ready to sprint. Sprinting from Germany, we have Leonie Wagner, who is going to be taking on Aline Moulin. Ball is in the middle. It's looking close. Moulin just pips Wagner to the post and takes the boat to the body, so draws the foul. It will be France who make the first attack in this women's final.
They might have turned the amplifier off. I'm not sure it's turned the sound down.
So the French looking like they're setting up for a start here. Now we've seen this before. The three players on the far right-hand side, they look like they run a three-man start between them, and actually the player on the far left almost flies under the radar as the zone is drawn across.
I think so. The German defence is as we'd expect. Three players not facing directly out, quite unusual, quite mobile, but being protected off by Shaper. French moving the ball very fast. That's beautifully done. That's absolutely beautifully crafted. That's Lamal opening. Oh no, it's disallowed. We've got a timeout. There's going to be a conference with the referees. We're in a different position to them. That looked into me, and I think from the French reaction, they thought so too. Referees have given it that's the crowd giving the referees a bit of advice. I'm willing to guess what the crowd want.
I was going to say, don't sugarcoat it, crowd. Give us the full story, will you?
Yep. Nothing like a bit of help for the refs from a big crowd. Maurizio Pelli and Brian Anderson very capable of ignoring that. Water off a duck's back, but wow, it's out. So, goal line throw.
That's unpopular.
Very unpopular.
I guarantee we're going to be seeing that slowed down on YouTube later.
That we will, and who'd be Maurizio Pelli now with his back to a quite verbal crowd, quite happy to help him. Right, so 0-0, all to play for. Just over a minute gone. Let's hope the French don't get put off their stride by that, because that was a very good start for them. Now Germany comes. Gillis thought about going for it and didn't. Hope she doesn't live to regret that.
Very open game at the moment, and the Germans pushing out, looking like they're going with
it. Chasing. I wouldn't have predicted this early. I'd expected to see it, but not right now in the first couple of minutes. Good for them. I like a bit of aggressive play. I'm surprised they think they can make the French make mistakes early, but they're obviously going for it, unless it's a call based on the fact they might think the French are unsettled by that call, not being given us a goal, but they're out and about and chasing. Great. Good for us, good for the crowd.
Lena Gillis just attempting to make some room in that zone, but finding herself almost backed off the pitch.
She is, and she's a very well-drilled paddler. She'd get a bit frustrated if she can't get any traction in there. She's coming out, maybe take the role of playmaker. She's a breaker off the front of the defence. Not one of the heavyweights particularly. They've got people to do that for them, but she's not one.
No, and you saw how she just rode that tackle. She is unbothered.
Well, she's had some very good coaching in her time.
I get the impression that you're biased in this.
Well.
Anyway, Germany with two boats inside the zone, looking to find that.
Wow, there's a lot of that bounced out off the bar further than where she was when she shot. That's an enormous run from Rootson.
And I think the French actually doing a very good job to hold their line.
They are. It's almost as if they've swapped buoyancy aids, because I'd have thought that would be how the Germans defended with the French chasing out. So
absolutely.
Great to see them interchanging styles. It makes it fascinating for us. The French have just changing it up. It is hard work working that line. The men expect to do it for as long as called for. The women using subs to keep themselves fresh. I know which seems cleverer to me. Whoa, nice.
That was a beautiful pass, looped straight over the zone, right into the hands of Shaper.
Yep, a great save from Louis.
What a final we've got happening in front of us.
Yep.
So, it's going to be Gillis to take. Now, Gillis, very, very experienced player, as we've just said. I'd imagine she's going to be taking charge out the back.
I would think so. I mean, she's a captain. She's quite vocal with them. I'm surprised the French have left her that much room.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that.
Again, to be fair, she's not the biggest hitter either. She scores plenty of goals, but often on the break, one-on-one, that kind of opportunity she makes for herself. When it comes to just raw power, there are some very big shooters in here.
Now that was,
looking for more there.
Yeah,
That's Cruiser taking a shot, looking at the ref for a bit more than a corner, but I think a corner's what she's going to get.
yeah, she seems to think those paddles were quite close. What do you think, really?
Hard to tell from where we're sitting. German corner. So the French had a very good start and a chance that looked like it could have been a goal, but the Germans since then have dominated, sat in the French half. They won't want to leave here without a goal. Mentally, they've been here a long time. They want some product.
So interesting, we can see that the French have switched up to a 2-2 actually, just pushing out.
They are. I'm pleased to see these women's team. They don't want to sit and wait. Historically, that's what they would have done. This is much more interesting, much more exciting, and I think it brings a lot to the game. I think this is where teams can take time off the shot clock by not just waiting for their opponent to come and take a shot. They're actually slowing it down by cutting down the time they have on the ball. We're getting that now. The Germans coming up to 10 seconds on the clock, and they're all pretty much on the halfway line with the ball. This will have to be a one-off shot that everyone knows is coming. Not the best option, and that is because of that open chasing French defence.
You cannot underestimate how much wiping that time off the shot clock impacts this game.
Yeah. Oh, I think she thought they might not be ready. Oh no, she's seen it was Gillis in goal. Eleanor Gillis had dropped back to goalkeeping. That's why she thought that was worth a punt.
I think it was actually Jill Rootson who still got her paddles to it.
It was, yeah.
That was so...
wasn't trusting a teammate behind her to do goalkeeping.
The reach on that woman though.
Yeah.
Top of that goal was 3 metres up in the air.
That's exactly what it was. But I bet you that's why the shot was taken. They realised it was Gillis in goal. Not quite so happy to be trigger happy now. Gillis now back in a familiar position on the front, looking for a weakness, looking for a mistake, and looking to break fast. That's it, goal throw, she's off. Quick reaction, past 2 players already, looking for a bit of space. She knows there are people in her team who can put it to the halfway line without any problem at all.
Like that, actually.
Perfect. Just
yeah,
like that.
Just like that. Right, so what we're going to see from Germany now, they've got Vogt in the zone. She has been in the zone a lot, actually. She's been doing really very good work in there.
I mean, we've seen quite a bit of different stuff ringing the changes to these teams, but I still think it's been a bit cagey. I don't think we've seen either of these teams at full stretch yet.
Battle cry from Eloise Frigo then, and she shut that down.
That dropped. That's lovely hands from Roulon. That's a great pick-up for her. That'll boost her confidence because that's not easy to do under pressure. Oh. Frigo saved by the call from the ref there. That had bobbled away from her and she really needed the call.
So what happened there is Katharina Cruiser was deemed to have lent on the boat in picking that ball up. You can just see her hand going over there.
Yep. I think it was the right call, but it definitely bailed the French out. Whoa, that's quite a push.
To get the ball away though as you're going over, that's quite spectacular.
Yeah.
So are we going to see this 3-man star once again? That's the question.
It looks like it. I mean, this is almost reverting to type, though the German line's pretty loose. But they are, yeah, that's it, recycle. We're all in, there's nothing doing. Better than taking a rush pass inside and getting it cut away when you're that flat.
And that's the thing, isn't it? You can't overcommit to this attack.
Whoa, again, snapshots. I'm surprised the French are taking them on, not with the one where the goalkeeper wasn't in position, but that one, I would have thought they would have thought that wasn't worth the effort. So, I wasn't expecting this to be goalless as we came down towards half-time, but we're only 120 out. So Gillis off the pitch. These are the bigger hitters now. They're going to throw something up at least. They'd love to take a lead in at half-time. Driving forward that shot.
Look at this coordinated attack.
Yeah.
Ball's going to...
Yeah.
From Rudson.
This last minute, the time for power, the Germans have decided rather than finesse. But can the French get away? This is where they might get something. This is great. Slowing the break down. Schmellen back there just made it impossible for it to get the throw taken. They're away now. 40 seconds, though, is plenty of time for a French attack.
It's going to be deafening if this goes in, isn't it? You better prepare
Massive.
for the worst. That stand might just collapse.
I'm beginning to think the French probably can't hear each other shout calls. They just came together there to exchange a chat that they would normally make over 10 metres or so, because I'm assuming it's just the noise. You can't actually coordinate what they're doing. Now, the crowd won't realise that, and they may actually be harming the team's chances there.
And I suppose it'll be as loud for the Germans as well, though.
Yep.
They're not wearing headpieces. 3 seconds left. We're going to see a shot any second now.
Not going to get that away. That's half-time. That's a bit of a wasted opportunity for the French. They had the possession but didn't get that last second shot away. I'll be disappointed about that, but fair play. I think that's about a reflection of the half, the scoreline. Germany 0, France 0.
To be fair, I would imagine her teammates were probably screaming at her to take the shot, but she just couldn't hear them.
I would have thought so. So, half-time. I wouldn't have guessed half-time score of 0-0, I'll be honest about that.
No, and it's not like there haven't been opportunities, is it?
No. And now we get the over-pitch music cranked up. We'll try and run you through this, but if you can't hear us, just enjoy the tunes.
So, what are we going to see, do we think? What are they going to be chatting about at half-time?
I think it depends really on what the tactical plan was. I've been very pleased to see both teams using a mixture of styles through the half. If I was coaching, I'd be thinking, well, which of those seem to be working for us, and picking it out and saying, let's try that a bit more. I mean, the Germans at the end, it was interesting that they brought the bigger hitters on to just try and force a goal, and I wonder if they might come out doing that. They will always start with Gillies on the pitch, but after that, if they would change, because it has brought them so many medals in the past. The French, it's got to be about mobility for me. That's always been their game. They're a nice paddling nation across the board, and this women's team no different. But I'm not coaching them. If I was, I'd be saying use the speed to the French, and I'd be saying use our strength to the Germans. But as I say, I've been pleased to see them mixing it up a bit.
Exactly. Play to your strengths and see what you can construct.
Well, at least until you get the lead.
Speaking of construction, I would like to thank our gold sponsors, IFARGE, who are the local construction company, as well as Brasserie Le Goudal and Yupin Sports, who have been absolutely integral in making sure that this event has run as smoothly as it has. So thank you very much to them.
Oh, Mexican wave time. That's a go-to tactic of over-pitch commentary, the Mexican wave, if you want that conversation.
To be fair, it does look quite spectacular.
They did it pretty well, the French crowd, I'll give them that.
Can you imagine the power you must feel to be in that tent right at the top? You can see it just on the left of the screen, and to just be commanding this number of people.
Well, they're going around the sides now as well. They're getting everyone stood. We're going to have a bit more clapping. It is inspiring, but I'm not sure who it inspires more, the French or the Germans. You have to ask the question.
I don't know about you, Curly. I'm feeling almost intimidated.
Yeah, well, I think that might be. That was the original intention, obviously, of the Icelandic version, but that seems to have got lost in translation somewhere.
Well, quite so. Once again, sprinting from Germany, we have Leonie Wagner, who's going
right, we're ready. We're good to go.
Taking on Aline Roulant. They are off. Now, this went to the French the first time.
And an absolutely massive noise from the crowd.
Leonie Wagner once again finding the buoyancy out of Aline Roulant.
Yep. That's two good starts for the French. As if we recall, they had a shot in the first half that there was some suspicion it might have gone in, not ruled that way by the line judges and refs, but maybe they can do the same again. Certainly looking for it.
I'd actually completely forgotten about that, and I was just younger back then. I think it was
Does seem a long 10 minutes ago. 13, I suppose you could argue. Corner ball. Some lovely passing here. The French, when they get it right, their crisp passing and the movement is just beautiful to watch. We do make the odd mistake, the women's team, but by and like that, just absolutely very, very quick round. Still there's a German in the way every time they get the ball there. Great defensive play from the Germans. They are going a bit too tight. Let's just see how they set up for this corner. Yeah, that's a 3 now, pretty clearly. But unusually, they've got Shaper on the front, not Eleanor Gillis. I wonder if, as I was saying at half-time, if they are deciding when they get the ball, they want to be some bigger hitters. Looks likely. But at the moment, it's all France getting their traditional star formation. They discarded that a bit in the first half, but that, again, I think this has been half-time coach. Let's do what we do best.
Yes, it has worked for them before. I believe they did actually win at World Games this year.
Yep, they did, and going well here. This German line's not as tight as sometimes. There are gaps to be found, and that's one of them. That's one of them. That's Moal, the captain.
And there's no denying that one in, is there, Curly?
Nope, that's the way to do it. So finally we get a goal in this women's final. Beginning of the second half, all France, until they come away with a goal. That's what they would have hoped for. Their half-time team's talks paid off, that's for sure.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant work there.
Now, the Germans, as we said, the bigger hitters are on. They'll be looking up. If they can, all they have to do is compress that line, which they're currently not managing to do, and they get one of the big hitters to shoot. In the middle there, we've got Vogt trying to drive it back and make some space, and she's being battled by Meyer, working hard. And at the moment, to be honest, it looks from here as if Meyer's... Oh! Now. Deflected shot calls for a special save from Louis, and a special save is what she does.
That was spectacular.
Very quick. You saw the blade just pop up and poke it over the top. Very nice. It's worth a goal. That could have been the equaliser so very easily.
Opportunity now for
Yeah, that's it. It's the big shooters. Both teams for this second half do what they do best.
I reckon about a tenth of this crowd has just gone absolutely ballistic.
Vote there, Vote's bringing it back, but that's what they would have wanted. That's what they lined up for. The French lined up for a mobile inside goal. The Germans lined up for a big hit goal. So, to be fair, the coaches have at least given them equal chance in this, and we're tied up 1. France back on the star. What's going on down here? We've got Robert hiding down on the right-hand side, trying to cut inside. I think she tried to paddle behind the line and then swing back on. Hasn't worked. Oh, there's been a foul. This could hurt. Gillis is back on when the break chance comes. Nice switching for the Germans. Good substitution. Now then. Oh. We've all played in teams with people who throw over our heads. That was Schwartz. Throws over 2 of a team's heads and misses. If they lose this game, there'll be words.
Yes, I mean, she's definitely going to hear about that later, regardless, I think.
It's fine shooting over your teammates' heads, but only if you score.
And Robert just trying to find some purchase in this German zone, but actually being held out quite far.
Yeah.
By,
on her own, it's a thankless task, I think. I mean, they've got the star coming, but that's more what they're counting on. We had Omer looking to cut round the back and didn't actually make it. The ball never got there. And if that happens, you're so vulnerable. Look at this. Germans, this is going to be a one-on-one, surely. This is going to generate a one-on-one. Oh my word, who would have bet on that? Not me, that's Schwartz. A one-on-one all the time in the world. Put it off the bar. We're being called back by referee Anderson. I wonder if that was called back and we just couldn't hear. That was huge. That's a corner. The ball must have gone over the back line in the action of sending that break, and no one could hear the referee's whistle. That gives you... We are sitting about 5 metres from the ref. No one could hear his whistle. That's how loud the crowd is. has to wait for a goal or an attempted goal to quieten the crowd before it can get heard. Amazing. Does give you some measure of the volume.
Yes, it's EU regulations would probably not permit this anywhere else, I don't think.
So back to this star. Where are they thinking the gaps are coming? I'm not really seeing it for the French. They've got Lamal inside now, but she's so heavily marked. Can they get a run at this German defence? I just don't see where they think it's coming from. And now she's slid inside just to prove me wrong, and it nearly worked. That was Moal. I didn't see how she was going to get in, but she managed to bump her way through.
She just threw her body weight forward and just slid it in.
Well done by her.
Beautiful work. Here she goes. We can see it on the replay, just throwing her body weight forward.
Yeah, almost making a chance just for herself out of not very much. Right, the Germans come back. 1-1, 4 minutes 20 to go. Of course, should this game tie in regular time, there will be overtime. Helps make us hoarse. Goodness knows what the crowd noise will be like between regular time and overtime if it happens, but we'll all have to learn.
And I think this French zone holding quite well, but there is some ingress then on the right-hand side, isn't there?
And they've blocked it down into the defence. That's nice now. And that's Moal coming away. Up the front and at the back, she's done very well. I hope that pass doesn't put Le Dormeur under too much pressure. She rides it. Look of disgust on her face that she's had to do so much work. Someone should say to her there's a gold medal at the end of this rainbow.
The play on call by the referee there for the contact with the body, just resetting the shot box.
Exactly. Very heavily strapped on her left hand, Le Dormeur. I hope she's all right in the long run, but obviously not wanting to miss out because of a sprained thumb or whatever piece of nonsense that's all about.
I mean, this is a very physical game, Curly, and the rules are all about safety, but, you know, accidents do happen.
Well, and you see these things at sporting events in many sports, players playing on just because they don't want to miss out. They've trained, in this case, for 4 years for this championship. Don't want to miss it for something you think, oh, it'll blow over in a week, and I hope for her sake it does. Right, here we go. Now they're inside. That's a big shot. Looking for more. That's to hands.
I think that's well controlled by the referees there.
Yep. They've given her first deliberate foul warning to number 7 for France. That's Lamal. That's her probably just trying to scrabble the ball back with her paddles. It's easier to give away a foul doing that.
Yeah, so the next deliberate foul or dangerous foul or both for Lamal will be a card, and that would be huge at this point in the game.
In this game, it's going to be very cagey. I think this game was going to go one way or the other. It could have been 8-9 goals in it, but it's been cagey, as I called early on, and still is, to be honest. I think both these teams know each other almost too well. Yes, I think so. Leaning on the boat there by Schmellenbach, she was just needing a little bit of support to get a shot away, and you're not allowed to take it off an opponent's boat.
I think she then clotheslined the keeper as well.
Yeah. I might have a way of getting this done. As commentators will say, it looks like we're heading for extra time. With 1:48, that might get to...
Come on, commentators curse.
But it just does feel as if it's going that way to me.
They've been so evenly matched, and who would have predicted this?
And the thing that I mean is, I really think they've changed up. I mean, again, we're back. This is an absolutely classic German defence now, with the 3 holding the line, and they've got Robert just. I don't know what she's really doing there. She's not putting the work in, and they're just owning that. But the outside players are just being held to sort of 5-6 metres out, and the Germans will bank on Roots and saving everything from there.
That was a shot clock shot.
It was, and I'm not sure Roots even bothered to move. I mean, it wasn't that far wide, and it was like, oh, I'm leaving that. Very brave in a final.
The crowd is on their feet with less than a minute to go. Yeah. They want to see this go to France.
Yeah. And a goal now would almost certainly seal it. It really would, and the French are on the ball, so they can time manage this and take one shot, and it's beginning to look like they've worked that out. Yeah, that's going out. This will come on 15-ish seconds, so there's not really enough time for a German counter if it's saved. Yeah, definitely.
Very astute play up there, very astute.
That's it. Run the clock. They can see the big shot clocks. They know what time is left. as if the crowd's not going to give them a bit of warning as well. This is drilled. They've got a plan. They know what they're doing, and whether it works or not's another matter. But there is something happening here that they know about. I think the Germans have shut that out. It's going to have to be an optimistic shot at best. Yeah, that's done, and we head to overtime.
Claire Moal there, she was inside the zone, but I think she saw how heavily covered she was, and she said, actually, you know what, I've just checked the clock, that was the right decision.
They just checked that out. The German defence knew what was coming and dealt with it very, very well there. I'd just like to point out part of my role in all of this is to talk the tables, what might happen, what the system is. That's the sort of thing I know inside out. I can explain the system for golden goal very simply. The first of these teams to score a goal is getting a gold medal. The first of these teams to concede a goal is getting a silver medal. Everything that's happened in the last 4 years doesn't matter. Everything that's happened here this week, and there's been some fantastic games, doesn't matter. Even the last 20 minutes now, that's just been a warm-up. It's one goal game. Who's it going to be? From what we've seen, I can't pick it. Normally you think one team's on the rise, but at the moment this is so even. I do not know how to call this.
We are having some very telling replays, I will say, of that little goal from earlier. I think we've just missed them, but I'm going to keep my thoughts on it to myself, I think, because
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
right. We've got the French team right in front of us. We are literally 2 metres behind the French coach, watching them encourage, and the live stream is going.
Well, that's one way to get fired up.
Don't know if we had live sound for that, but that was classic. That was the French geeing themselves up. We've got the equivalent shots of the German team. Very, very tight.
What would you be saying to the Germans at this point?
I think it'll be a repeat of the half-time team talk for both coaches, to be honest. Whatever we believe in now. My one always with these situations was we win it or lose it in 30 seconds, so you go out all guns blazing. But too often I think teams are a bit cagey. They're more scared of losing it than they have the hunger for winning it. For me, whoever really goes for this can probably win it. But that, too difficult to tell who that might be. The fresh pressure on the French might slow them down, might let them just think, oh, we've got to be careful. And in golden goal, if you start thinking, oh, we've got to be careful, you're done for. You've really got to throw caution to the wind. And the big hitters of Germany, for me, if I had to put money on it, one of them will put something hard and high, and that'll bring them home. That should seal that as not being what happens. Look at the venue, though. This is just so worth seeing. Amazing stuff. The drone shots of the venue give you some idea. Saint-Omer's a town of 15,000 people. It's got one of the premium polo venues in Europe. In its town, you can walk to the town centre from here.
So we're off. We're looking like, once again, sprinting for France. We've got...
Here we go. The 2 number 6s. Roulon for France.
And for the first time in this match, actually, Germany win the sprint.
Right, who've they got on? They brought Gillers on. Is that caution? Somebody to cover the brakes if the French get the ball back, or is that distribution? Or is that just your captain, get this over the line? It's got to be what? Oh, that's beautiful. Inside pass.
You said it was going to be over in 30 seconds, Curly. You called it. You called it exactly.
That's the way to do it. The Germans went at that brave. They went at that brave and they got the result. Fair play. I do feel sorry for the French in front of the home crowd, but the Germans went at that brave, and that is the way to do it. They came at that. They threw it forward. They played slightly not too tight for them, and that caught the French out. They left a gap in the middle, and bang, that was job done. I think Gillies was on the pitch because they needed a captain's job. Whatever what goes on here, we need somebody to boss it up that end, and they did. They found a space and they landed a perfect pass. Brilliant, brilliant goal.
And you can see how much this means to them on the pitch. There's tears, there's cheering, there's crying. It's
huge because the Germans got 2 silvers yesterday, So that, you know, they didn't want to make it 3 silvers before the men's final, and the women have done it now. They've cracked that nut. I do feel sorry for the French at this home tournament that's been so good that they've missed out there, and their men's team not contesting the final or even the semi-finals. So that will hurt a bit because they were in the game the entire time. And you think, well, we could have, would have, could have, should have. You know, that's how it is in finals. You take your chance on the day, and the Germans definitely did that. Great game for us, absolutely great example. And there's always a winner and a loser in a final. That's just how it cuts.
I will say the crowd, they're still on their feet in support of their team.
They've seen a great game. I mean, obviously it takes a bit out of you that, you know, oh, and this is nice to see. French players got to thank the crowd. Yeah.
That is beautiful.
You've got to like that. That is beautiful to see. And just down here to our right, we've got a French doing a media interview. They've lost, but they're still doing that. Very good of them. But that is gorgeous to see, the crowd on their feet. They know what the girls tried to do for them. When they come back.
Bon, maintenant encore un match pour vivre la finale chez les hommes. Un bon terrain qui nous présente les équipes. Nous allons arriver dans quelques instants sur le terrain. Le début de ce match est prévu à 16h20. On a le match pour la finale Omer opposera l'Allemagne à l'Espagne. Okay, the next game, the final in the main category. Spain, Germany.
So the French captain, the good grace to do a media interview, not easy when you've just lost a final. Applauds the crowd. Heart goes out to them, but that is stunning to do that. That's very difficult. Often players will just refuse to do that, and she's done it with good grace. That was a great final. The French have acquitted themselves brilliantly on every level, and that to take the applause of the crowd and go over and thank them for their support, very nice to see. And obviously the Germans are full of it. So they should be. If you win a world championship, you're not pleased, you've got something wrong with you. It's as simple as that.
Now, don't go anywhere, because joining us shortly on this pitch, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Curly, but we will have the senior men's final.
I think we might. Can I just talk us through what's going on here? We can see the pitches here. That was the 2 original pitches in Saint Omer, which are adjacent to the canal. Security will have something to say about that. They're not very fond of flares here, but camera cuts away.
Bon, en tous les cas, merci les deux. Et puis, dans quelques instants, cette finale de ces championnats du monde 2022 avec l'Espagne contre l'Allemagne. Et on applaudit l'équipe d'Allemagne.
You want names again? I don't mind pulling them in.
Et on va applaudir s'il vous plaît l'équipe d'Espagne. Vamos España.
And we've just seen an interview from the winning German captain, Eleanor Gillies. Much easier for her to give a media interview than her French counterpart. But now we have the senior men's teams entering the fray from Spain and Germany. And these two teams had a pretty hard-fought journey to the final, both of them. We had a conversation before we started. I think there were at least 6 nations thought in senior men's they were at least in with a shout for one reason or another of taking this title. Well, it's come down to these two. I'm sure they both hoped, as you do. The Germans more than most. They're defending their title that they owned in Welland in 2018. They got to hold that for 4 years. And for those of you who don't know, the staggering thing about the fact that the Germans were world champions in Welland was it was actually their first world championship win. With all the wins they'd had in Europeans and at World Games, they'd never won a world championship till 2018. So in my mind, there was something fitting about the fact they get to keep it for 4 years.
And speaking of the Germans, I mean, we were just talking about their progress here. Once again, they are undefeated in this tournament and going for the Grand Slam. It feels like I'm repeating myself, Curly. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, well, Germans are a big nation. They have a factory called the Bundesliga for making big, strong players. And it really does. They are fantastic at it, and it puts them in contention every tournament they go to.
I mean, there's just simply no other way you get 4 teams to 4 finals. How many other countries can boast such an achievement?
Nobody can boast that sort of achievement. I mean, there are others that emulate and copy it, but the basic thing is that they run massive tournaments from school-age children, for school-age children. And there's no doubt that 20 years ago it was a thankless task probably for the people doing it, but they see the product now. These men were playing as almost kindergarten children, and you get the reward. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It is a magic formula, kind of, but it's a transparent magic formula. If you get enough young people playing the game and teach them well, you end up with world champions.
It's an investment that has paid huge dividends.
Well, the sporting system in Germany is dedicated to it, and at the top end, as I say, it comes down to the Bundesliga for these guys. It's a very, very tough place to play. There are players who try and get a place on a team, and they're proud if they get one from abroad, because if you can hold your own in the Bundesliga, you can hold your own anywhere. It's as simple as that. These men, it's hard to imagine if you've only seen canoe polo at this level at home, how big and strong and quick these men are.
Oh, they're way bigger in person. They're way bigger in person. All of a sudden you can be standing, in the lunch queue and you're next to these absolutely hulking behemoths of men.
Yeah. Very, very fit now. I mean, I've always said that winners are of their time, and I believe that, back in '94, the Australians were good value winners, and so have the teams since then. But if you were to take this German team 20 years back in time, they would blow past everybody in the tournament without a hesitation, without a moment's hesitation. They are just bigger, stronger, faster. The way they play, the way they throw the ball is just so much better than their predecessors. And it's hard to imagine how can that progression keep going, but it seems to.
Just to talk about Spain for a minute, they have been absolutely explosive in this tournament. They've had some real cracking matches. Their semi-final was an interesting affair.
Yeah. But not just the senior men. The Spanish have had a fantastic tournament across the board. I haven't actually managed to speak to any of my Spanish friends on that level about why that's come about, but I've got a feeling that the lockdown may have been easier for them, or that they've found some way of training. They don't copy the Northern European model. They've played their own style of game. They're happy to take a few risks. And right now they've trained, I think, so hard by the look of them that that risk-taking is beginning to pay off. The old adage, the harder you train, the luckier you get, I think is working for them. And they've been great here in all categories. Obviously, their under-21 women in gold yesterday was the icing on the cake, but they've played very, very well.
That's huge for Spain, isn't it?
Well, and they won in 2004 as well, the under-21 men. That was their first medal, but they've not managed a consistency since then, to be honest, and I don't want to be unkind, but I think that is because part of their strategy is the risk-taking. When it doesn't work for them, they don't do so well, but this tournament, it's worked for them beautifully across the categories. Long may it continue. It's great to watch.
I was going to say, you have to admit it makes for wonderful spectating. Now, I believe we are to be...
The stand's still full. That's testament to the French crowd. This is the people of Saint-Omer who've supported canoe polo full stop. They're here to support their national team, of course they are. But now they're going to sit here, they'll pick their favourites, Germany or Spain for this.
So we are bringing on the teams now. This is number 1, Julian Prescher. Number 3, Lennart Unterfeld. Number 4, Tim Rieke. Number 5, Jonas Gauselman. Number 6, Arne Beckman. Number 7, Rene Kirchhoff. Their captain and top goal scorer, Jonas Fierlen. Number 9, Marco Hopstock. And now the Spanish team. Number 1, Javier Arejo. Number 2, Angel Gozo. Number 3, Sergio Corvea. Number 4, Samuel Padavia. Number 5, Alejandro Blanco. Number 7, Alejandro Gozo. Number 9, Alejandro Casal. Number 10, Alejandro Baez. And number 10, Alejandro Baez. The coach, Enrico Tatarino. And now the referees for the final in the men category. From France, Eugenie Braquet, and from Denmark, Asger Sundberg. So just confirming the referees for this match, Eugenie Braquet of France and Asger Sundberg of Denmark. There they are. Do you just want to mention Alejandro Gozo is the one for Spain? He is the top goal scorer for Spain.
Yep.
Looks like we're going to have some more over-pitch commentary making a racket.
Every tournament needs some 40-year-old music.
They wrote it right the first time, what can I tell you?
Dialing down, the referee's calling the teams up. This is Virginie Braquet's going to throw the ball in. Who's going for which team?
So it's looking like from Spain we've got Gozo, who's going to be sprinting against Unterfeld. This is going to be explosive. This is going to be a lesson in how sprints should start.
Yep, let's have a look at the technique as well, see who's been well drilled. Probably both of them. Do get some sprinters. Oh, look at that. That was phenomenal from Gordo. Absolutely phenomenal. It looks as if he's going up against somebody slow, and I can absolutely promise you Unterfeld is anything but slow.
Just to put that edge on and just slither past, that is absolutely textbook.
But speed's going to be the Spanish's weapon, strength the German. We'll see if they go to tight. Again, hopefully not. This is, that's your classic German defence at this stage. I wouldn't expect anything different from them. It will all be about whether they can get inside, and they can. On that first attack, they've created a one-on-one there for Corvée. He couldn't get profit. I mean, obviously, even getting as far as the goalkeeper doesn't guarantee you anything. René Kirchhoff is a phenomenal goalkeeper, under-21 keeper, and under-21 player of some enormous note, and he's transited up to the seniors. That's thrown under, that's such a waste, but for Kirchhoff to take that place, big pass forwards, that's massive. Oh, if that's cut away, that'd be special. Couldn't quite do it. That was Gordo Herrero, and he didn't quite make it, but he committed to that. That's the kind of risk-taking I was talking about before the start. If he'd got that, he'd have been gone on his own.
He has managed to wipe a good 15 seconds off the shot clock.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's the pressure. Germans like to be in control, like to have their time. If you can cut that down, you've at least got a chance of them making a mistake.
Look how far they're being held out.
That's hard work. That is hard yards for the Spanish.
These Germans, they're not small.
No. But they are. Look at the work rate in there. Look at the work rate from both the attack and defensive players. It's massive. Wow. That's a good shot. Not the best shot I've seen. Not the best shot we'll see in this game, but that's a good shot. Now, that'll be pleasing for the Spanish keeper to get the first one under his belt. Away. Now.
I think the Germans, they're sounding out their opponents for sure. They know how fast the Spanish team can be.
They are. They're very wary of being caught on the break by this team. That inside pass is nice. Has it arrived? Yes, it has. Oh, can't make it stick. They won't make too many chances as good as that. They're going to have to get one of them to go. That's Jonas Viren just getting frustrated because he couldn't get a fast break underway, and I'm sure Weiss doesn't mind. Accidentally couldn't get out of his way.
Just the fact that he could just pick Weiss up and just summarily dump him off the pitch.
Look a bit like it, no offence, Ben, but yeah.
Now Germany's starting this like a three-man star working round.
I think, just pushing the line up tight and then taking a big hit. That's Hopstock there with the finish, but it could have been any of them. That's one of their big features. Any one of them could do exactly the same thing if the chance fell to them.
And the zone just compressed right onto the keeper, closing that distance down.
They're big, heavy men coming at you at speed. Very hard to hold your position, whoever you are.
It's just physics, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, plenty of time left for Spain, but they're going to have to find something here, and they will, I'm sure. None of this is going to be a surprise to them. They must have some sort of strategy for being behind.
We were actually going to switch it up a little bit. So we've seen two 5-man stars and now a 4-man star, it would seem.
It does look like it. I'm just looking across at Padavia Lorenzo on the far side, working his socks off and actually getting absolutely nowhere. He's trying to push Reiki out of the way, and really just very difficult. Just working and working. Created half a screen. They come to the other side. That's a nice shot, but again, just Kirchhoff just more than man enough to deal with that. Just curious to keep an eye out if pressure comes onto the pitch. He went off injured in the game against GB in the semi-final. He was holding his back, and I don't think we've seen him in action yet. I hope he's okay. He was in the warm-up. Oh, he's on the field. I'll take that as a good sign. Because it looked quite, as if he was in a lot of discomfort, but he's back on.
Explosive power now, and that pass just not finding its way around the zone.
They're finding it very difficult at the moment, the Spanish. They need to do something to rock this German defence. I mean, the German game against Great Britain in the semi-final was pretty much a masterclass. I mean, they ran out easy winners in the end, and Spain will be hoping to give an account of themselves that they can be proud of at least. They need to find a goal.
This is interesting.
And maybe that's their way. Go into the traffic, wave the ball about. If the referees are happy enough to give a penalty, then so be it.
So the reason that's a penalty, Curly?
Well, that's paddles to the ball while it's in the hand, or paddles on the arm, something like that. I mean, there's an awful lot of, you know, the Germans will put a lot of paddles up in your way, and if you can convince the referee that it's a proper foul, then like that, then you'll get a penalty. I mean, the referees at this level won't shy away from that, but it's still not done, of course. Corvea Trio's got to do the business, and does. That is a very, very good penalty. Kirchhoff's a fantastic goalkeeper. That's a very, very good penalty because he was nowhere near that. That's very fast arms. But that's something probably the bigger men would find difficult, to be that quick with the actual physical movement, and that's done so. For us, perfect. 5 minutes gone, 1-1. Germans back to 5, obviously, because the goal's been scored. But the important stat for this Spanish is they're back in this game.
For how long, given the amount of damage that the Germans are doing to their defence?
Look at that. They've got that line pushed down towards the 4-metre line. Spanish have actually recovered that a bit, but just seems as if it's gone on there. Something happened inside there that neither we nor the referees saw, but just the pause from the players tells you something happened.
Both players seem quite happy about it.
Germans 17 on the clock, so the Spanish have done that, but this shot will come. Viren looking for it himself, no, laying it off to Hopscott. Back to Viren, they must be out of time, surely. Oh,
that's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it. I feel sorry for the Spanish, because you know that Viren's are really looking for a corner maybe or whatever, but no, it's a goal. Well, they restore their lead. Goal's a goal at the end of the day. But again, that's not the best crafted German goal we'll see, I'm sure. I was just like, oh, I've nothing better to do, I'll have a shot. And, well, if you're that good a shooter, sometimes it's a goal. Moving the ball around.
Where the term worth a shot comes from.
Exactly. You don't shoot, you don't score, that's for sure. Now, riding in. They've got to find a way. Let's see. Viren's going to make life hard for them on the front. If they can get him out, oh, that's a bit unlucky. Can they recover it, the Spanish? No, Viren's hands looking to distribute. It doesn't matter what's going on around him. He still has a presence to have a look round. Germans are away here if they can deliver. No, not worth the risk.
They've been well covered by the Spanish, though. I think that was excellent. They made up some real ground in between their boats.
They did, and they were obliged to leave the back players, which was Viren and Kirchhoff, but they'd got the rest covered. I mean, I suppose there might have been a long shot possibility, but I don't think the Germans are in the mood for that at the moment. So look how they are. They're just pressing that back. That shot's coming from about 4 metres just because everything's been driven back. And at 4 metres, that's penalty range. You know, that's a tough save for a keeper.
Rejo has actually been stunning in this tournament so far. I've got a few of his games. He's been almost impenetrable. So.
Yep. Well, you certainly get a test today. That little game to change, I don't know if you saw, between Beckman and Gordo Herrera, just on top of his boat, and Beckman just having to be so careful not to paddle him more than a metre and give away a foul. Almost doesn't even have to put his blades in the water. This is the Spanish away, though. You see, this is their game. They've got bodies away and in volume. If they can keep this going quickly, they really have got a good break here. Pretty sure they can feed it through. Oh, they've slowed that down a bit. They had to. That was a weak pass. That's such a shame from a Spanish point of view. They really had the numbers away, and then they just had a weak pass and had to slow down. The Germans aren't far enough behind that they catch you up. They're not slow. They're just not quite as quick as you are.
I wonder if we'll see some more of that explosive Spanish speed.
Well, we hope so.
I'm just bringing on some more defensive players now for Spain.
Last 2 minutes, I'm willing to bet as the for the Spanish, they have to ring in the changes a bit just to keep the players fresh. Because if somebody gets blown and can't paddle 100%, he's going to get owned in this game. He's got to have something in the tank the whole time. And once you cross a certain line, you're so tired, it's hard to recover. They need to sub before they get to that point, particularly in the first half. Now, the referee was offering them the chance to take it close. He didn't want it. They want to be moving. They need to use the momentum to create the space. Look at this, though, the work rate in there. At the moment, I'm looking at Riker just driving across towards Weiss, and just so hard to imagine how you can deal with that.
30 seconds left on the shot clock. I don't think the Germans are going to rush this. There's simply no need to, is there? Again, just that zone just getting absolutely compressed.
Yep, that's it. Now take it in. Now Weiss will be tired already. He's been working against Reiki, and suddenly he's a slightly easier target. It's not an accident. Now they swing it to the other side. Have you worn your one out? Come on, let's find out. Through the middle. Oh, another. That's a great. Assuming that was on target, hard to tell from our angle, but that is a great save if it was.
A little
very
shake,
quick.
Yes.
Yeah, hard to tell from that slow-mo angle as well, but it was a very quick blade to pump it out. I think you have to assume it's on target at that range.
It's taking a break in the zone, it seems. I think both the Germans and the Spanish taking...
I'm a bit surprised because I'd have thought Jones would have just kept pinging away at
battering,
them, just saying, yeah, you just keep working, I can keep working, and if I can't, I'll go and get a friend who can. But no, they, like you say, seem to have a little pause there. Oh, is that going to land? No,
that's unfortunate.
That was a wayward pass. We won't hear us saying that much. We're about the Germans, but that was now then. Oh, he should have brought that. Oh, it's time. Fair enough. So engrossed, didn't see the time. Thought he could have brought it across.
Top tier defending there from the Germans, just to be able to get a paddle to that when the pass is being launched at that kind of speed.
So half-time score is Germany 2, Spain 1. The Spanish goal coming from a penalty. The Germans characteristically using brute force to score some of their goals. Please can I just remind everybody that after this match we'll have the medal ceremony for both the senior women and senior men's category. That will be shown on the live stream, so you can just follow it through to that. Always quite respectful for the players. The crowd, possibly the French crowd, might choose to disappear, but the medal ceremony is there to watch. And should you miss any of the action in this game or any others, it will be available on the ICF, Canoe-ICF.com, on their YouTube channel and the social media at Planet Canoe. Very kindly available, all of this. We're just looking at the German team now being given a talking to by Bjorn Zick. Forgive me, Bjorn, if I've got that wrong. Very well-known player, started coached them obviously to their first World Championship title. World Games winner in his own right in 2005. A phenomenal player, still does play, I believe, certainly recently he was. Moved into coaching very successfully with the German national men's side, so yeah, that's just showing the goals.
So would you say that Bjorn has made sure that the German team is well equipped?
I think so.
Speaking of well equipped, I would like to thank our sponsors, Upin Sports, who have provided all of the balls for this tournament, as well as our other gold sponsors, Brasserie Le Goudal and Eiffage. They have been absolutely integral in making sure that this event is funded appropriately. It simply wouldn't run without them, so thank you very much to all of our
The other thing
sponsors.
Upin Sport do that goes a bit under the radar is they supply equipment for developing countries to allow them to step up. Very difficult if you've got substandard equipment. Upin Sport been very good with that at the behest of the ICF, so we shouldn't take anything away from them, but it's a nice touch, and you don't really see it when you're in a developed nation or at a championship like this, but it's very, very important. It looks like we're just about ready. Those 3 minutes flew by. So can the Spanish find a way back? Can they find another goal to draw it level? They certainly haven't leaked goals. They certainly haven't been run over, and they've been in this game. I have to say, I think they've made some chances that on a good day they should have converted, and that may just come back to haunt them, because you can't make scores of chances against this German side. If you make 3 or 4, you've got to be scoring half of them.
Right, we are ready for the restart. It's looking like sprinting from Spain. We're going to have Alejandro Gorzo, who's going to be taking on
Tim Reiki, I would imagine. Yep, it's Reiki, but we weren't ready. Oh dear. I was ready. Reiki was ready.
I think there were some issues.
Gordo
with,
Herrera was ready.
Well, yeah, you've got to have your tail on the back line though, and the line refs weren't happy. And I think good control there from referee Asgo's Onbo just to say, no, we're doing this right. This is the men's final. We're not.
It takes a bit of nerve to call it all back. I'll admit that.
Once again.
Right, we're all good. That's dropped.
That's
Reiki's jumped the start. Are they going to give them another go? Yeah. Maybe they both jumped the start. It's very tense. It is very tense. Because this does matter. This first possession in this half does matter. And I've got a feeling they might have both jumped the start there. We're away this time. Yeah, magnificent. Absolutely stunning. That's 2 out of 2 against Tim Reiki. He'll be very pleased about that, Gordo Herrera, but that's no mean feat just on its own. Oh, you've got to know the ball's coming. Sorry, you've got to know the ball's coming.
You've got to have your head up if you're running into the zone. You should always expect that ball in.
This is Kirchhoff. That's, again, overcooked. This is just nerves. You've barely seen 2 poor passes from the Germans all week, and I just went wayward.
It's difficult to imagine the Germans letting pressure get to them, though.
No, but it is a final when all's said and done, and that gold medal's winking at them. They've got the old one now. Need to on the old one won't be any good. You won't be world champion after today if you don't win this game. I used to be world champion isn't quite as nice a sound as I am world champion.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't help you in the dating department.
I wouldn't know about all that. I've got my own world champion.
Oh, soppy. So,
look at this, the Germans slowing the game down well. What are they waiting for? Shot clock goes to 30, they're outside in a star. Who are they copying here? This would be a slightly heavier star than some. Look at that. Kirchhoff back to Veer, and there's something, I want to know what they're thinking. I'd love to be inside their heads. This is so unusual for them to just stop this and play the shot clock down to 10. Why are they doing that? That's over the top for a corner. I wonder if they're waiting for something inside. Who have we got inside there? Gausselman. What are they looking for? Gausselman and Reiki. We need to work. Right, the Spanish have chased out. I wonder if they're almost teasing them. They've got the Spanish running out and then it's all the way back. Can they persuade a Spaniard to come into their half and then pop it over the top? I wonder if they're trying to clear the way using some sort of tactic. The Spanish aren't buying it. They're not moving. I'm surprised. I think the Germans should just force a goal, but they're working on something. Surely I've missed. Bjorn's come up with something. There's something at half time. This has changed. The German tempo has changed. They're slowing it down. It's not like them, and I'm sure they're not tired or any of that sort of thing. Not in a final.
Absolutely not. And again, slightly wayward pass. What's happened to this German team?
Got the back line shouting at them. This doesn't sound like this is a plan. I wonder what's going on. Here they come. This will settle the nerves. They need to get back to tight and bang some big shots up and get settled into the groove.
Even their zone guys, they're not really doing anything at the moment.
No.
They're just sat.
No. We've got Reiki and Gausselman inside, and they're not even inside, really.
Do you think it? It does look like they are managing to draw.
Well, it's hard to criticise the team that's in the lead in the second half of the final, but what's the plan? I'd love to know.
Clearly, this team knows something that we don't.
Well, I would have said that all along. Now, the Spanish have come to pressure them.
Was this the plan?
I do wonder whether they're thinking that the Spanish will chase to them if they sort of hang out there. And in the end, the Spanish have to because they're behind. But clearly they're not doing it when the Germans want. That's off the bar. It's going to be swept up by Hopstock.
Again, even now, actually, we are now cramping up the tempo.
We are now doing it.
Here we go.
Yeah, this is more normal, if you like. Inside and past inside, off the bottom bar and out. But again, that's Reiki.
Huge pressure from Spain.
There is but there's a part of me wonders if they fancy taking the Spanish out on the pitch. I would have thought that was a mistake when you're only a goal ahead, but maybe they do.
Opportunity.
Oh yes, managed to get across the boat and through, paddling with his hands on the ball. Very, very nice. Could get some change out of that. Casal.
Just threw his body forward. Look, you can see it. Look at that.
Now, Corvea trio.
Looking actually a little bit sedate this end as well. Actually, now I think.
Yeah.
Buys is now putting in the
I
calories.
think with bringing on Casal, they've got their bigger version of their unit on now. Yes! That's a deflected shot and that is in. Well, whatever they're working on, Gordo Herrero scored and equalised.
The assist, I think, from Buys, he just made some room, didn't he? You can see him right now on this replay, just slides along his teammate's boat and in he goes.
That's superb, and if in off the top bar, fantastic work. Now let's see what the Germans do now. I really don't understand what they were doing in the last minute, and I'll be curious to see where they go from here because they can't expect the Spanish to chase now.
Well, exactly.
You know, it's all square, so they're not going to tease them out. And suddenly the ball's moving at the normal sort of speed and the inside men are working like they normally work. Well,
this is a bit more like it from the Germans, compressing that zone right up once again. I don't really know what they were doing for the start of this half.
Not seen them playing like that this week, that's for sure.
Reluctant to use the term.
Here they come, and this is much more to type, riding in, compressing in, shooting. I think that's been, it was called as a goal throw for a moment. It was clearly a corner. Refs have got it right.
And Germany just taking an opportunity in this breaking play just to take off
that's
pressure.
Getting off, and they've brought Riker back on.
He's probably going to immediately bury himself in the Spanish zone.
Well, it does look a bit that way, and it doesn't really surprise me. But again, I assume they're trying to ring the changes a bit and keep fresh, blood players, use everybody. So they are a hard team to beat.
And when you've got 3 subs as well, you need to be working at 100% the whole time.
And that's the idea, but right. Yeah, surely. Yes, surely inside, very tidy. Oh, yeah. Don't see that often from German player, but a two-handed push shot. Beckman feigned a regular heavy shot and then two-handed it very nicely off one post onto the other and in, so that's millimetre perfect from him. Restores the German lead at 3-2. Yep, that's a nice one now. 3.5 to go. Long enough for a goal, that's for sure, but that's very nicely two-handed in.
The Spanish need to make sure they don't overcommit on this. We have got Corvea providing some cover at the back, but I think Cortho's going to come and join him.
There was a touch on that, but it still arrives. Shot clock's down to 30. Looking inside, had to pass that through. Oh, that's a nice shot and a nice save. Nice combination there, because that was passed through very well, and then Kirchhoff had to make a pretty fancy save to keep that out.
I think as well he did well because there are options there. It was either the pass in the zone or the shot.
Right, they've got to run this right now. There's half a chance here, surely, of getting up close enough. No. They're very flat if this goes wrong. When they run down one side, they're all right now, but when they're running down the sides, they've just got 1 point there, then the Germans get away, it will be 2 of them at least.
There was just a little bit of conversation there between Gautam Corbeas, and I think Corbea knew that was a little bit of a Hail Mary.
This is almost where the Spanish need to keep forcing the ball inside and either get a one-on-one with the keeper or another free shot type penalty. Is that what they're thinking as well? We've got to get something going on.
Yeah, I mean,
they can't afford to end up static, the Spanish. If they start to get tired, they really have to sub out. Right, they've got 2 men inside. Are they both finishers? Not sure. That could have gone overhead maybe. Trying to hand it through. No gap there. He's in there now. Has he got the finish from there? No. Too well defended.
Huge.
Out for a Spanish sideline. It's quite a shot.
Battle cry from Gortha. He clearly thought that paddle was too close, but I think referees called it right there.
I think it's one of the things that Spanish have to almost see as a tactic against the Germans. A bit of help from the refs.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Well called. That's better than nice. That's Gortha Herrera putting them equal again. So 1:20 on the clock at 3-all. That's the final we were hoping for. Who wants to call it? The Germans have kept leading and getting pegged back. Is it time for the Spanish to take a lead with 1:20 on the clock? What will they do? If I had to guess, I'd say they'll compress the line and take a big shot, but they've made me wrong before. That's a great goal from the Spanish.
Presumably we are going to see the Germans again taking their time with this shot clock just to really minimise the chance of a
I think so, but they have to shoot before. If they can get they've got a reset. They've got a reset. So now they can manage the time clock down to something like 15. Have what they'll regard as a free shot, because if it doesn't go in, the Spanish don't have time for a counter, and they will do that. In their playbook, it makes no sense to do anything different now.
I would imagine our zone players here are just going to be taking it easy until relatively right just before that.
And then they'll move.
Yeah.
Because the Germans don't have the wild card player that reads that and thinks, oh no, not me, I'm going to shoot now. They will have the discipline. It's inside 15 now. They've maybe let it to 10. Then they're pretty confident whatever the Spanish do, whether it's a goal or not, they're not going to score. And here we are, 5. Run it even closer. They'll be cross if they don't get a shot away. That might be the shot. They're not getting 2. They cut that too close for a second shot. They might have had a chance there. But anyway, either way, full-time score in the senior men's final in 2022 in Saint-Omer in northern France is Germany 3, Spain 3. We approach the golden goal period. There is a rest period now of 3 minutes before we get the first 5 minutes of golden goal. This is coaching time. You all know what my feeling is: get it one and done in 30 seconds or lose in 30, but I'm not coaching either of these teams.
I think the real question is going to go 2 for 2 on your prediction.
I'm not calling this. Not calling this. Because you see, you have to figure that the Spanish are sitting there thinking, well, we're going to win the sprint.
Yeah.
He's going to deliver that. He's done 2 already, and he's been there by a good metre each time. So you have to guess Spanish first possession. If they stream forwards, how is it going to look? How brave are they going to be? I will tell you now, we will be able to tell the braver team will win this, unless it turns into one of those draggy wins where we doesn't get one in the first period, we go to the second and suddenly it's almost a war of attrition. I hope it's not like that. Knowing what I know about these teams, I can't believe it's going to be like that, but I've seen that in finals before where, again, just two teams that are scared to lose. I don't think it's either of these teams.
Do you know how exciting is it that you've got a team that takes risks like the Spanish in a golden goal situation in a senior men's final?
Well, and that I'm sure they believe they're going to win the start. So, again, will they go for bust and get up the field, or will they say win it, bring it back and we'll build something? If they do that, I think that's a mistake, but it's the sort of safe option. They've got this far by taking a risk. Here they are, look at this. This is what we like to see. Are those the words coming out of his mouth that are going to bring him a gold medal? He's got to be thinking that. What can I say that's just going to make just that tiny difference? Because it is a tiny difference that will separate them now. You know, have I got a playmaker here who's going to come up with some crazy thing that scores the goal? Maybe. I don't know who their banker is. Germans are out, lined up. Spanish are coming out. Surely Gordo Herrera is going to take the sprint for the Spanish. Usually it's Riker. Will it be? No. We've got Unterfeld, looks like he's lining up for me. So Reich, has he got this? Has he got this? This is important. A false start or anything silly can change the dynamic, but this should be quick. They've got to have adrenaline pounding through their veins.
Has just drifted a little bit further forward now. So.
Well, he can't afford to be back. He's got to take every, you know, he can't be back. Right, here we go. Here we go. There you see, that's a German win. The first time. I wouldn't be busy celebrating yet, my friend. It's a good win.
I mean, that's huge for the Germans at this point.
It is, yeah. Because they must have at least considered the possibility the Spanish were going to win that again. So that is a good win then. He's right to be pleased, Unterfeld, but...
Gortho immediately sits on the top of the zone and needs to pick himself back up after this. That's again.
Now you tell me that's nerves. That is nerves. There's no doubt about it. You can watch 10 German games and not see a pass go behind Jonas Vieren. They did well to recover that. You know, that could have been game defining.
Again.
Captain's time, heroes and villains. He wants it. You know he wants it. Over the called us. It was a goal throw anyway, but called a foul on the keeper. There's nerves out there. You can almost feel it from here, or you can feel it from here. Now, who's going to do this? Look at this. They've got a lightweight team on their mobile. Here we go.
Eyes is trying to find some purchase in the German zone. But again, look how much water is in between the keeper and
Look at this. These passes are being pinged about by the Spanish. They're trying to find a gap. Who's going to take a risk? Come on, boys. Not me, not now. Oh, I hope the gas doesn't go out of this on the nerves, because Spanish just need to keep everything going as fast as they can. Bank on that speed, creating something for them.
And
very difficult.
They've wheeled out the double boyo.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's it though. They made that chance. Well done. Corner ball. Once we come to within a minute of the time on this, whoever's in possession will start to kill it down, and that can take the complete wind out of the game. That's why I always think these things, it wants to be done really quickly, because if we have 4 minutes of this period, they'll start to slow it down. Not yet though. That's a great shot. I mean, that against most teams that'd be a goal. That's all I can say. Look at this, streaming away the Germans. 2:30.
Just hot-footed it back to his zone.
That's brave, leaving that goal undefended against the German side. I'm not sure how far out they're all confident shooters, but certainly the halfway line's nothing to them. They all score comfortably from within their half. Bit of conversation. Yep. Vierens to Hopstock, this is what we're going to do, and a nod from him, so they're on the same sheet. I'm pretty sure that Kirchhoff is. Reiki now joins the fray.
There's something positively menacing about how calm it is.
It just is, yeah, it does feel like that. You're right. Is that a shark? Well,
yeah,
no, that's René Kirchhoff. That's not a shark, that's René Kirchhoff. They worked that, they knew they were doing that. They fed Kirchhoff and banked on the big hit being enough. And it was. That time it was. They had us all thinking they were coming right, and then it was back across to Kirchhoff. Absolutely no doubt that's what that little bit of communication was that we called. They set that up, they made it work. And to be fair, that's their job. That's the captain's job. Vieren did it. That's it. Oh, sorry for the Spanish as ever. We're looking at the finishes. But what a final. It goes to overtime. We can't ask for more than that. 20 full-on minutes, and then really 3 minutes of that overtime before the German just literally just powered one in. They're happy, they're very sporting, and again, nice to see, no fuss, no controversy. Obviously they're disappointed, the Spanish, but shaking hands, going round, acknowledging their own fans. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant final, powerful. Nice to see the Germans so happy they've retained their title, and that is a nervous thing to do, because you know everyone's thinking, well, we had it last time, well, it's ours to lose, and all that kind of nonsense. And they've battled through that, and they've done it. They've done it in a very good final against a very good team. I hope they're pleased. They look pleased. Yeah, and the crowd are pleased. Very noisy. Obviously having a fine time.
Tell you what, the Germans better hope their trophy cabinet is as robust as their training programme. It's surely about to buckle under its own weight.
It is. But this is nice for them. Very, very nice. Having a lot of fun. And to be fair, the Spanish not disappearing off. It's very easy to, but they're all, they're almost enjoying the moment themselves. Silver medal, a very big deal for them at senior men's. They've had European titles, but this is a big deal.
Do just want to remind everyone, don't go anywhere. The medal ceremony will be being streamed live here. If you're watching it, then you're already in the right place.
Yep.
And if you want to tell everyone else where to find it,
that's nice to see.
canoeicf.com.
Spanish captain come over, congratulating the referee and thanking her. That's the way to end a game. Well done, my friend.
Wow. What a final, Curly. I had fun. Did you have fun?
Yep, that's great. Really is. Though the two under-21s games yesterday and that, I'm not going to spoil it. If anyone hasn't seen those under-21 games, you need to catch up on canoeicf.com and at Planet Canoe. There are clips and highlights, but you need to see. I don't want to say anything too much about the under-21 game, because if you don't know the result, I'm telling you, treat yourself. Go and watch them both. Here we are again. Fair play to the Spanish. Captain's about to do his media piece. Obviously disappointed. Part of the duties almost now, and they'll be cutting to that shortly.
What do you think, Curly? Should we leave them to it?
We just stay open just for after this, but I think they'll take us offline any second when they're talking to Gordo Herrera, and then we'll be down. Applause from everyone. You can't fault that performance, not from either team. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Bravo à tous les Gallois, bravo à toutes celles et ceux qui ont travaillé pour ce championnat du monde. On n'a pas terminé.
And girl, silver medal, how do you feel? Obviously at the moment not so good, because we already lost the final. We arrived with good sensations to the final. At the end, I think that it's a good match for both teams. So many times we play golden goal. This time is time to lose the golden goal, because normally we win the golden goal. We have custom to win, but it's not all time. Germany make a very good attack, score, and this moment is a little bit bad, obviously because we lost the final. But at the moment we haven't got to think about the tournament. But I think that the team make a nice tournament. We can say any more of the guys in the stand that make a really hard work, and the whole sensation is good, but at the moment the silver medal is not bad, but we hope to win the gold medal. Congratulations, well done. Thank you so much.
Just as we see the crowd celebrating and the Germans congratulating and hugging each other, just a reminder that the medal ceremony follows very quickly after this. Learn the lessons of the past. They're very quick after the finals for the senior women and senior men's competitions. They will be live on this live stream shortly after. And as I say, if you need to catch up on this game or any of the others, canoeicf.com and the social media site, all the social media sites at Planet Canoe.
which brings, I guess, our story arc here to a close. Speaking of arc, last time I do this, I promise. Speaking of arc, thank you to our silver sponsors, Arc, Connect, Vortex and Group L'Empereur, as well as, of course, our gold sponsors, Brasserie Le Goudal, iFarge and Upin Sports. My name is Elmo. It's been a pleasure commentating here with you, Curly.
Thank you. I'm Curly Barker. I'm sure we'll see you all again. China 2024.
I think we'll leave it at that. Thank you and good night.
Well, Jost, congratulations. Now you're world champions 2 times in a row.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it was really a tough game. Really happy now. Perfect season with the German national team. Yeah, just great.
What did you think when you had to play extra time against Spain? Spain have a very good record in golden goal.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just remember 2017 when we lost here, also in the final against the French guys. It was the European Championships. Yeah, the match was really close and yeah, with a lucky end for us. And yeah.
You have a team now that's playing very well. You said early in the year your form was not so good. But at the World Games and now here at the World Championships, you've been the best team by a long way.
I mean, we won both tournaments, so I hope we also played the best polo. But yeah, especially now, yeah, from the quarterfinals, from the World Games till now, I don't know. It just clicked. It just went so good, and yeah, I don't know why, but it just was really good.
And you have lots of fans watching at home in Germany. Would you like to say something to them in Deutsch to thank them?
Ja, wir freuen uns natürlich über alle, die zugucken, aber natürlich auch alle, die hier sind. Wir danken euch alle für die Unterstützung und freuen uns, das Ding gewonnen zu haben.
Well done, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony of the 2022 ICF Canoe-Polo World Championship in Women's Senior Category will begin. Madame, Mademoiselle, Monsieur, la cérémonie protocolaire des championnats du monde 2022 de kayak polo de Saint-Omer catégorie senior dames va commencer. The medals and trophies will be presented by. Les médailles et les trophées seront présentés par le président de la Fédération française de canoë-kayak, the president of the French Canoe Federation, Monsieur Jean Zungrana. Le maire de Saint-Omer, vice-président des Hauts-de-France, the mayor of Saint-Omer, vice-president of the region Hauts-de-France, Monsieur François de Coster. The president of the Department Canal of Pays de Calais, le président du conseil départemental du Pays de Calais, Monsieur Jean-Claude Leroy. The chair of the Canoe Polo Committee and board member of the ICF, le président de la commission kayak polo à l'ICF, Monsieur Greg Small. Médaille de bronze, bronze medalist, Italie. The players for Italy, Ada Principino, Martina Anastasi, Maddalena Lago, Roberta Catania, Chiara Trevisan, Silvia Codoni, Giulia Guarubenga, Flavia Londolina, and the coach Francesca Giancio. Les flowers, les fleurs maintenant. Silver medalist, médaille d'argent, la France. On applaudit les joueuses de l'équipe de France. Applaudissements pour Héloïse Frigo. Mélissa Levendeur. Marion Robert. La capitaine Claire Moelle. La gardienne Céleste Louis, Aline Roulant, Clotilde Lemal, Camille Meyer et le coach Thomas Richet. And now the flowers. And the best players. The best players of the final is the number 4 from France, Claire Moelle, qu'on applaudit. Elle va recevoir le trophée de meilleure joueuse de cette finale. Applaudissements pour notre capitaine. Médaille d'or, gold medalist, Germany! Players for Germany, Gillara Rutzen, Katarina Kruse, Julie Schwartz, Zwenka Schecker, Nelly Schmockenbach, Leonie Wagner, Ilke Vogt, Elena Gillis, and the coach for Germany, Björn Trebner. And now the flowers. Le trophée de champion du monde est remis à the World Championship Trophy is given to Germany! Alors je vous demandais de vous lever en l'honneur de l'hymne national de l'Allemagne. Please, ladies and gentlemen, rise for the national anthem of Germany. Messieurs, veuillez applaudir le champion du monde. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for the 2022 World Champion. Applaudir les filles là, tout ensemble pour la photo. Applaudissements s'il vous plaît, Saint-Omer. Allez, 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 allez. Ah, c'est magique. De l'amour porté par ces joueuses pour ce magnifique sport qui est le kayak polo. La petite photo qui va bien. On continue à les applaudir s'il vous plaît. Allez-y. and gentlemen, the medal ceremony of the 2022 ICF Canoe-Polo World Championship in men's senior category will begin. Madame, Mademoiselle, Monsieur, la cérémonie protocolaire des championnats du monde 2022 de kayak polo de Saint-Omer, catégorie senior homme, va commencer. The medals and trophies will be presented by... Les médailles et les trophées seront présentés par Monsieur le Président de la communauté d'agglomération du pays de Saint-Omer, the President of Community of Pays Saint-Omer, Monsieur Joël Duquenois. Accompagné de Monsieur le sous-préfet de Saint-Omer, the representative of the French state in Saint-Omer, Monsieur Guillaume Tirard. Accompagné du membre du bureau exécutif de l'ICF, le président du comité de marathon, accompanied by the ICF Board of Director member and chair of the Canoe Marathon Committee, Monsieur Ruud Eysselor. Et enfin, Monsieur le Président de l'Office intercommunal des sports and the President of the Sport Office of Saint-Omer, Monsieur Gérard Coquimpo. Médaille de bronze, bronze medalist, Italie. Et on va remettre les médailles et vous allez les applaudir à Andrea Bertelloni, Eduardo Cordeia, Davide Novara, Paolo Di Ferro, Jan-Erik Hack, Andrea Romano, Gianmarco Emanuele, Fabrizio Massà, Luca Bellini, Andrea Silvio Costagliola, and the coach Rodolfo Bastola. And now the flowers, and now the flare. On va applaudir l'Italie, allez! Les médailles d'argent, the silver medalist, Spain! Allez, on va applaudir les joueurs de l'Espagne. Javier Arego Teruel, Angel Gordo Guerrero, Sergio Cordelia Trillo, Samuel Pardavila Lorenzo, Alejandro Franco Quitana, Alejandro Gordo Herrero, Alejandro Casal da Silva, Alejandro Valls, and the coach Americo Catarino. And now for Spain, we have the flowers and the trophy of the best players. Les fleurs maintenant avec le trophée du meilleur joueur. The best player for this final, Alejandro Gordo Herrero. Médaille d'or, gold medalist, Germany! Players for Germany. Julian Prisker. Lennart Lundenfeld. Team Rieke. Jonas Gosselman. Arne Beckman. René Christoph. Jonas Viren. Marco Abstack. And the coach for Germany, Björn Ziratsky. Now the flowers for Germany. Le trophée de champion du monde est remis à the World Championship Trophy is given to Germany! Allez, madame, mademoiselle, monsieur, on va vous demander de vous lever en l'honneur de cette victoire pour l'hymne national de l'Allemagne. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Germany. Mademoiselle, monsieur, applaudissements pour les champions du monde. Ladies and gentlemen, please, congratulations for the 2022 World Champion, Germany. On applaudit également, s'il vous plaît, l'équipe d'Espagne et l'équipe d'Italie.